two teams coming into today, so it should be a ripper.
It will be a ripper. I spoke to Roger Viney on the way in, the president of Clarence, and he's somewhat surprised about how well the Roos are going this year. He said they're building towards 2018, so anything this year is really a bonus and preparing them for potentially a tilt of the flag next year. So that was interesting, I thought, because they're going pretty well. Only the one loss so far this season against Hobart City Demons a couple of rounds ago. Up at Burnie last weekend, and they're playing some really good footy, Clarence. North Bonnie, though, we saw them a couple of weeks ago as well. They looked absolutely fantastic against Glenorchy there at KG5, Damo, so we should be in for a cracker.
Should be in for a cracker indeed. The Bombers are flying. A win would put a nice little buffer between first and second. The Roos, as you said a couple of weeks ago, lost on their home turf, what they like to call the pouch here at Blundstone Arena. So they'd be keen to get back on winning ways here at their home venue. North Lonnie don't play here too often. I think the last time they played here is maybe in the final series last year when they lost to Glenorchy, so wouldn't be exactly fond memories, but they're flying at the moment. It has to be said under coach Tom Couch, who's playing some great footy himself. So Clarence not at full strength, a few prime movers out of their team, namely Ian Cullinan and Cox. Tough to cover their absence, but I think regardless it's going to be an absolute blockbuster here.
You mentioned that they love playing here in North Bonnie. They won the flag here a couple of years ago. They beat Glenorchy in that first final last year to get the home final up there at Aurora Stadium as it was then. And you often see teams, Brandy, that go to venues that don't like playing there, but there's no issues here at all for the Bombers.
No, and look, we saw them a couple of weeks ago, didn't we, boys, against Glenorchy, and I was desperately impressed with how they played on that occasion. We saw Clarence early on in the year, Brent, against Lauderdale, which was a good game of footy too. Clarence pulled away, particularly late in that game, to run out really strong winners. So you're right, Damo, with some of the outs today for Clarence are depleted a little bit. Young Zach Bushner, who's away with the Mariners, and Gleeson as well, coming back from suspension. So he'll be back shortly, so he'll strengthen that team when he comes back in. Look, for mine, I just think North Lonnie might be a little bit too strong today. And it's interesting, I think Clarence is certainly a team on the rise. They probably caught us a little bit off guard in terms of how well they have started the season. They'd be still smarting from that loss to Hobart City, I would have thought, Damo, and then they would have had a ripping start. But this will be a great litmus test, dare I say, about where the footy club's at today for the Roos. So we'll find out in about 2.5 hours' time where they sit.
That's basically what Jeremy Webberley said at the press conference during the week. It'll be a learning session for them almost to see exactly where they're at. So I know Tom Couch won't come down here thinking they've got the game won either. It's going to be a big challenge for North Launceston to spot and play well here, as we said earlier.
And boys, as we're here in commentary position, we see Matt Ling, who injured his knee last week. I think he did a meniscus. He's just hobbling over, so that's another out for the Roos. But this one's a matter of if they can really match it with North Launceston and maybe even take the chocolates. It's a real stamp of premiership credentials, and we've seen in recent weeks it's blown open a little bit with Lauderdale coming to the fore, beating Glenorchy. And Hobart City Demons here beating Clarence, but no one has beaten North Launceston yet. Is it a case, boys, that they're just better than the rest at the moment?
I think so, and if you look at their age demographic of their list, they've been able to get games into these guys really quickly over a 3 or 4 year period, and now some of them are young veterans almost at 24, 25 years of age, and have played a lot of senior footy. Zach Burt's a really hard matchup, we know. Taylor Whitford, Bradley Cox-Goodyear, all these sorts of players. I was really impressed with Lockhart and Foon the last couple of weeks too, boys. So they're a lot of their prime movers now. And so yeah, look, I just think that the battle in the midfield will be interesting. We had the benefit of watching Thomas Couch a couple of weeks ago, and he was brilliant, I thought, in the midfield, boys. And when you've got Cox-Goodyear in that middle as well, I thought Jack Event, the last time we saw them
really
a couple
good.
of weeks ago, was terrific and moved forward and was a constant threat as that medium-sized forward. So really looking forward to how they go. I think the ruck will be an interesting one too, Damo. Alex Lee, the boys come across from Devonport and did a really good job last year when Rosendale was suspended to step up and play in the grand final and did pretty well. But we know Sam Siggins, as that mobile ruckman, has had a terrific start to the season. So maybe that's a potential advantage that Clarence can have with that mobile ruckman in Siggins this afternoon.
So we're not too far away here from first bounce as both teams get ready and get going. Quick look at scores over at Twin Ovals, the only game to start so far, and Well, Devonport are up and about, Breno.
Yeah, no, we called this one beautiful, you and I, Damo. We thought that might be the case, and it's rang true. So what is the score, please?
Having said that, the Tigers have kicked back, so there must be a strong wind at play because they led 25-0 at quarter time, did Devonport, and now it's 22-33. So
Okay.
they're edging back. You'd think there's a strong breeze at play down there in Kingston, but that's the only game to start so far in round 9 of the Southern Cross Tasmanian State League. This one set to be an absolute cracker, no question about it. Sorry, Brent.
Perfect conditions here, isn't it? No breeze,
Yeah,
a little bit chilly, but it couldn't be really better out there, Cam, for the players.
Brent, I'm interested in your thoughts. Bart McCulloch was really good last a fortnight ago against Glenorchy and really gave Mitch Hills a bit of the run around and a couple of other different opponents. So I'm not sure who you think the matchup might be for him. Bailey tends to be the guy that
He's the go-to,
takes on
he's
the go-to man for them, and what a terrific season he's had. He's in the state squad at the moment, well deserved because he's been a terrific competitor for the Roos for a long journey, very reliable. So looking forward to that matchup, particularly if McCulloch does go deep. I think Bailey will be the matchup. Aidan Grace is an interesting one.
Yeah.
He's a very versatile player for Clarence, can go forward, can go back and roll through as that sliding winger, so to speak. So it'll be interesting to see where he lines up today.
Where do you see Tom Couch playing his game today, Cam? Obviously been playing a lot up forward, a bit through the midfield as well, but speaking to Jeremy Webley about it during the week, he thinks he'll tend to go wherever he needs to be, obviously, which makes complete sense. But if he's not getting the ball up forward, he might put himself back in the midfield and vice versa.
Yeah, I would have thought around 80-20, 80% in the midfield, I would have thought with Couch. He's such a penetrating kick, boys. So that's where they're going to have to really clamp down hard. And when he hits the stoppages at pace, and some of his clearance work a couple of weeks ago was terrific. Looking forward to seeing Kyle Palmer-Hughes. He's been out injured. A Mariner, of course, played a couple of years for Clarence now, and a couple of years at Mariners level, the left footer, and he's just working his way back into the team. So he's a really good player, really good runner, boys. The son of Glenn Hughes, a former Tasmanian cricketer. So we'll see how he goes about it today. Another one we'll look forward to. I love watching Mark Walsh play, boys. Doesn't always get as much footy as perhaps you'd like, but geez, a beautiful kick of the footy. One of the better comps in the competition. So look out for him today when he's got ball in hand.
Boys, on Tom Couch, just quickly before we get things moving, do you reckon Clarence might put someone on him and look to tag Tom Couch? Because we saw against Glenorchy, he can take the game away from him.
Look,
Well,
I think... Sorry, Breno. I think that's a great call, and I think that the one for mine might be Chambers to do that role. We've seen him do it terrifically well a couple of weeks ago against Bryce Walsh, one of the more quiet games that I've seen Bryce Walsh play, and he's bounced back recently into some really good form. But I was really impressed with, I guess, his discipline and dedication to the task, Chambers. So I think he would be the logical matchup for Couch if he does go down there. Zach Burt, will be interesting to see who picks him up, boys. So as we see North Launceston going down now, Burt will probably play that deep forward. Looks like Taylor Whitford starting down in a forward pocket, and also Tommy Bennett is making his way into that forward line as well.
As is Tom Couch.
Yeah, so there you go.
Couch to start forward. It'll be interesting to see where he spends most of his time today. Clarence's backline's got a big job ahead of them because it's a dynamic forward line for the Bombers. Michael Fisher picking up Couch to start things off. So
I think we've got McCulloch and Bailey, boys, as predicted.
Yep. So
The stage is set, boys. It is going to be an absolute beauty here on the live stream this afternoon. Big stakes for both teams, as you said, Damo. North Launceston can create a nice little buffer at the top of the table, and Clarence want to stay in touch with the top two, of course. So a lot riding on this one.
a lot indeed. First bounce not far away at all. Sam Siggins and Alex Lee to get things going. So here we go. And we're underway. Up it goes. Lee wins the tap. Looking there for Walsh. Siggins extracts it. Goes long and high. It's fisted away. North Lonnie should escape here. We've got Pearson. He's immediately crunched. It's won by Webley. He goes out and finds O'Brien. He gets it on the boot. And it bounces through. And it's helped over indeed in the end for a minor score.
We saw Jackson O'Brien, didn't we, against Lauderdale boys, and unfortunately he was injured, but back in the...
Oh, it's a horrible effort, and Grace helps himself. Goal time early here for the Roos. They're up and about.
Well, that is not a great start for North Launceston, Cam.
Well, I think it was Richter Solder with the kick out, Damo, correct me if I'm wrong, but a great presence of mind by Grace, immediately turned around and snapped it through, and sometimes those instinctive goals, they can be hit and miss, but great composure, but gee, they'd like their time over again there, North Launceston from the kick out, so a great start for the Roos, and we mentioned Aidan Grace in the build-up, Breno, and it looks like he's playing inside that forward 50.
Yeah, good little player, Aidan Grace, and Sam Siggins too, exploding out of the middle there to get right inside, a really quick inside 50 as we go back up again in the middle. North Lonnie win the tap down, and Walsh is dragged to the ground. The ball doesn't go out too far, and the umpire will blow his whistle. And a ball up right in the centre square here at Blundstone Arena.
Seeing Lockhart around the ball, Cam, I think Tommy Couch wants to make use of his foot use around the contest. He's got such a nice boot on him. As Jones burrows through, he was held in the process, so he'll get a free kick for his troubles. And Clarence will have the ball again, a sharp start from the Roos. He goes short, finds Webley, back for Jones. Over he goes, Jackson O'Brien, space to work in, out on this broadcast wing. O'Brien just nudges it along, just a little ball.
Oh.
And it's played on quickly by Murphy Cowan, and he is gathered. And it'll be a North Lonnie ball, just a lack of awareness there, boys.
Yeah, sleep at the wheel there. Denman will take the kick for the Bombers. Gets it right inside the centre square. Nice mark taken by the Bombers. Through Richter Solder. Drives it forward, but straight to the opposition. Mark taken by Clarence.
Keegan Wiley, I think, boys.
It is indeed. He's had a good season so far, Keegan Wiley, at a key post for a young man. And he goes out onto the far side. He finds Palmer Hughes. Hughes
Ooh.
looking for Standen. A little bit too much body contact.
Yeah, and 50 for dropping the footy there, Damo, as well. Just dropped the footy when the decision was against him.
Not what the Roos need, because they've got the foot on the accelerator. And a bit of a let-off for North Lonnie there, boys.
It was interesting from Standen, a very experienced player, we know that, so for him to toss that up, as you said, Damo, they got the jump here, so the coach won't be happy with that. Jeremy Webley is North Launceston drive it inside 50 for the first time. Mark couldn't be taken by the Roos. Picked up by the Bombers on the far side of the ground. Umpire's blowing the whistles and said he's been taken high, so
Tommy
Couch will get the free kick for North Launceston.
Now, we've seen, boys, this year he's made some very difficult things look easy. It'll be interesting to see if he threads the needle here. He truly is a freak.
Well, he was asking Jack Rewalt for some advice during the week, Damo, about Blundstone Arena and how it plays. We know that. So let's see what Jack's dished here, because it is a tough angle.
Knowing Jack against Clarence, I reckon he would have thrown in anything but advice as Tom Couch comes in, approaches it nicely. It's a decent piece of it. It sits there and it's fisted through, so won't be a goal for Tom Couch. It didn't look too bad off the boot, just didn't quite have the legs. So it'll be brought back in through Jeremy Webley.
Webley. Nice short pass. Right in the back pocket here at Blundstone Arena for the Roos. They've started nicely here, 7 points to 1. Webley's got the ball back now. Knows this ground really well, of course. The coach played a lot of footy here over the journey. He goes to the wing, but straight to the opposition. Tom Bennett takes the mark. Wants to play on quickly here. Not much doing for him at the moment. He loads up, centres the ball to the pack, but gobbled up by the Roos. Nice mark taken there by Timmy Castle.
50
what's
again,
that, 50,
boys.
Cam?
Some early 50s.
Now, Aidan Grace has sprinted forward here, inside 50, boys, to try and
Can sniff
get a
another
one
goal.
out.
So Castle with the kick. Plays on really quickly. Straight down the guts of Blundstone Arena, right into Clarence's 50. Grace is there. Was he interfered with? He wasn't, said the umpire, but Clarence get the goal through. Trent Standard, and they are on fire here early, Clarence. They lead 2-1 to North Launceston, one behind. A great start from the Roos.
You can't afford to give Trent Standard that space at the back, Damo. He's just too quick off the mark. Read it better. Smart player. A good contest from Grace and young Donnelly. But just the ability to swoop on the loose ball, and he's not going to make any mistake from there. Terrific start for the Roos.
Explosive. 2-1-13 to 1 behind with 5 minutes into this opening quarter. And a bit shell-shocked at the moment, the Bombers. No, Clarence have got a few players out in this game. Ball slammed back into the turf here. Siggins in the ruck. Ends up with the Roos again. They push it to the wing. Running ball. Ends up in the hands of North Launceston. Handball over the top. And they drive it forward again. Here's Couch running towards the football. One-on-one contest. Couch, is he pushed in the back? He wasn't. And now the umpire will ball this one up. So, he's taken high. So free kick going the way of North Launceston. Now it's going to Clarence. So the Roos with possession again, Ken.
Might be James Holmes, I think, down there. He's been in some pretty good form for the Roos.
Big fly at the back of the pack, but the ball pushed over the boundary throwing.
Early days, Brent, but we've seen Clarence, we saw them a lot last year, just been really impressed with their ball movement, their transfer of the footy, particularly from half back, and to create those forward inside 50s, they just look a lot cleaner in their forward entries this year.
So thrown in, fisted away by Siggins, gets it moving Clarence's way, but it's immediately snatched by Thune. Inside looking for Donnelly, he's crunched. It's taken out by Clarence, but a bit of sloppy work lets back in Cox Goodyear. Takes the ball, gives it to who we got there, Wadley, over the top. It's a handball, looking for McCulloch. Line beats everyone, thrown in once more.
See Aiden Grace lurking there on his own, Cam, just waiting for another goal. Not sure who his direct opponent is, but need to keep an eye on him, North Launceston.
Yeah, young Thomas Donnelly's got the match up at the moment, a Mariner player, a very defensive-minded, good one-on-one player though, so North Launceston will be okay with that matchup.
Wrapped up and it'll be another stoppage. Sammy Siggins started well here, boys. Up against Lee. He would have prepped himself for this one. A big task. Lee gets this tap. It's Pearton who takes it out. Cox Goodyear looks to run and gun. He goes and finds Holmer, who's got himself into a world of trouble. Throw in the end.
Good tackle, Fisher.
Moves it quickly to Weberly. The kick's found wanting. He finds Burt of the opposition. Burt turns and looks forward, and all he's got is Couch. Couch strolls on in and puts it through for North Launceston's first. That's a give-me.
Well, the captain wouldn't be happy with that.
More drama here, boys. He's going to have another kick. So that is unforgivable stuff on the last line for Clarence.
What has gone on there? So there was a mistake here in the middle.
It was a double whammy. It was the coach, wasn't it, Jeremy Weberly, who just missed the target badly.
Goodness me.
And presence of mind from the North Launceston player and Zach Bird to get it over the top. But all of a sudden, we've got 2 goals.
And Tom Couch makes no mistake. So what a piece of play for North Launceston. 2 quick goals, and it's all tied up here at Blundstone Arena. 2-1-13 apiece.
Gee, you'd be disappointed with that for the Roos because they started so very well with a couple of early goals. But, that stings. And Couch, ran forward. As soon as that turnover was on and the kick was almost to his direct opponent, off he ran. And great kick by Zach Burt just to find him inside forward 50 and ran on.
What happened down there, Damo? You were all over that piece of play. How'd the free kick come about?
There was a push in the back after the goal occurred as Siggins takes it out of the middle, looks forward for the Roos. Can they get the quick reply? Looking for Grace. It's Donnelly who meets it. Nudged away, Stan and crunches in a tackle. He's got Mansell wrapped up and it'll be another ball up. So physical stuff there in the forward 50 for Clarence. It's Wade Wall who wins down looking for Jackson O'Brien. He comes out with it. He's offline with his kick though, and it'll be a minor score for the Roos. But yeah, at the other end, it was a shove. I'm not entirely sure. I think it might have been Castle who got a fair piece of Tommy Couch after the goal, and it's a give me and it undid all the Roos work. So Lockhart now with the ball in defensive 50. You know he's a penetrating user. He goes down the line looking for Bennett, and it's a good punch coming from Keegan Wiley and out of play.
Well, what a start to this game. We knew it was going to be a beauty, but Clarence lead it by 1 point. 10 minutes gone opening term. Just a little bit of undisciplined play from Clarence has seen North Launey work themselves right back into the game. Siggins, handball, wasn't a good one. Fisher delivers inside 50. No one could take the mark for the Roos. Ends up in the hands of the Bombers. And now bring it out is Jay Foon. Hits the target of Lockhart. Drives it forward to the running Bennett. He decides to slow things up. Tries to find an option inside 50. Can't do so. Ball bounces straight in the hands of Castle. He's wrapped up, but manages to get out cleverly to the wing, and straight to his teammate. They drive it forward again, Clarence, to a one-on-one contest. Wall takes a good mark on the run. He plays on super quickly, turns around, centres the ball, but straight to North Launceston. And they'll have a chance now to slow things down.
Did well, Donnelly.
Donnelly out for Pearson. He's got a bit of space to use. He measures a kick. Not his best. Misses Walsh as a target. Homer almost mops it up. It's won by Holmes. Out for Webley. A dinky kick down the line finds Blackburn. Blackburn copped one of the great Falcons last week. If you haven't seen it, it's worth a look. He gets a piece of this inside 50. Almost finds Grace. Mansell will find it his way out for North Lonnie, but it's straight back as he finds Holmes of the opposition. So Holmes on the broadcast wing goes long and strong, looking for Grace again. It's just swatted out of play by Foon. It'll be a throw in as Clarence edge closer down this broadcast side.
Just that slow play there, Damo, because they lack a little bit of height, Clarence. You probably need to try and spot up a player in that forward 50 entry, I think.
So thrown in it comes. Wade Wall gets it down to a runner. They struggle to pick it up through Harper. Kicking in danger in the process, I think, so the skipper will take it. It's Whitford who finds Lockhart, a damaging user, and look at that, straight off the boot he finds Walsh on the outer wing. Walsh uses it superbly for Couch. He can't quite take the mark. Nudges it inside though for a runner or two. It's there for Richter Salter. He can't construct anything meaningful. Burt picks it up, finds Pearden. He tries to shimmy and shake. Gets it out. A shot on goal. Homer, the one in the square, the big bear in the square, and he brings... I think it was there.
Yeah, Keegan Wiley, and he did well because he knew the tackle was coming, which was a little bit crude on that occasion, but didn't panic and drew a free kick, Damo.
Yeah, so big Homer with the tackle there. Wiley brings it out of defence, a long bomb out onto the far side. They do well to battle it out. Do North Launceston. It was Event who got it on the boot, but this one trickles out of play. So a good start to this game. Clarence flew out of the blocks, but some sloppy work around the defensive arc has undone a lot of their good work. Just a point in it. It's brought down by Siggins. A good hit out. He started this one well. They get out through Harper. He goes long looking for Wade Wall. He'll just tap it on and look for a runner in Murphy Cowan, and it'll be a free kick for the Bombers. Plenty of space back there to use. Looking for Lockhart. He comes in. It was a good contest with him and Howlett. Pearton takes it out of the contest. He misses Walsh, who was his target. Siggins with a hand, can't find his coach. Holmes in there, battling away, and they take it out, Clarence. It's Wiley on the ball. He'll go and find Howlett. Howlett with a bit of time to use it. He uses it well. Grace can't bring it down though. Foon takes the ball. It's with Connor Young. Young uses it nicely. Finds the skipper in Whitford. Into midfield they go. Whitford receives back. A nice 1-2. He goes long looking for the coach in Couch. Can't take the mark. Castle all over him like a cheap suit. Oh no, sloppy stuff from the opposing coach in Webley. Almost lets in Couch. Homer tries to bring it down, and McCulloch does his best to try a miraculous shot at goal, but the line wasn't his best friend on that occasion. A throw in deep in North Launceston's attack. So it'll be brought into play. Lee all on his own under it. He'll just put it down for the runners. Bennett might just have a look. He doesn't get a great piece of this one. Out on the full.
You're right, you just had too much stoppage there. Good call, Damo. Bennett was able to run into some open space during the ruck contest there, but shot across goal was disappointing.
So it's the Roos on the last line of defence. They push it forward and work it forward, but straight out of bounds for another boundary throw-in. So 2-2-14 plays 2-1-13. We've had 14 minutes gone in this opening quarter. This blockbuster Saturday afternoon TSL clash. Ball back in play. It's with North Launceston. Smothered off the boot though by the Roos. North Lonnie good enough to get it back. And go inside, just outside 50 again. Here's Homer on the run. The long sleeves today. Slips over. Roos managed to work it back to their advantage. Homer again. Slips out from underneath him. Jones wrapped up with the footy. Gets the handball away. O'Brien off to his teammate in Wiley. Up the wing. North Launceston is there, but Clarence, the ball wrapped up. Umpire has said holding the ball, so free kick going the way of the Bombers. And it'll be taken by Singline. Gets it away quickly. Walsh right in front of us here on the commentary wing at Blundstone Arena. Hasn't got much on offer at the moment. He goes right in the boundary to Couch. He couldn't take the mark and it's punched over for a boundary throw in.
So Couch, interestingly, yet to see him through midfield, boys, operating largely as a permanent forward. So interesting to see how that develops throughout the day. It'll be thrown in here. It's been a very good contest so far. This one, is it thrown in? Homer battles away, gets a good hit out, straight down for Cox Goodyear, who just zips about.
Interesting Cox Goodyear, boys. Over the last couple of seasons has played a fair bit of time playing as that small forward and done it so very well. But looks like he's got himself a bit fitter, playing more in the midfield this year.
So hit out comes down. Clarence do their best to take it. And it's helped over with a bit of help from Mastrocola. So another throw in. There's been a few stoppages so far, Breno.
It has indeed. Hasn't taken the excitement out of the game, though, that's for sure. It's been a great first quarter here as the ball comes back into play. Homer in the ruck now for North Launceston. Can't get it out. Here's O'Brien, though, really cleverly balks around his player, drives it long. The man home is there. And goes inside 50. Good mark taken now by Siggins. It'll go back and have a shot.
A really nice passage of play there, Brownie. It was O'Brien who broke it open, but then the presence of mind from Jeremy Webley there just to turn and find Siggins, and you'd think he should put this one away.
Oh, yeah, you called it beautifully, Damo, and Webley just turned around. Great presence of mind. Didn't try to overkick the footy, just waited to the oncoming lead from Siggins, and he gets a shot from 50.
He loads up Sam Siggins. Looks pretty good off the boot. It's coming back, and I think he's kicked it. Sam Siggins has scored Clarence's third goal. They move out to 3-2-21 to North Launceston. 2-1-13, 80 minutes gone, first quarter.
Even as his days back playing with Lauderdale and at Mariners level, he was always a very good kick, Sam Siggins. A good mark overhead, particularly when zoning off and reading the play. But he becomes a dangerous proposition when he can play in the ruck like he does and then push forward. It just gives the opposition something to think about. And he just caught young Donnelly on the hop there. Really interested in the matchup on Standard, boys. Young Mantle. A Mariners player, the boy from St Pat's, a state cricketer, of course, but it'll be a really interesting one today. If he can hold Standard, it'll be a real feather in his cap.
O'Brien with another impact straight out of the middle, and he finds that man Siggins. Siggins over looking for Standard. Mansell tries to get away from him, but he comes back in quickly, Standard, and he's earned himself a shot on goal. Terrific work from the small forward.
It was terrific work. I didn't think he did a lot wrong there, young Mansell. Looked like he was playing in front, but he just got caught with the footy. Terrific defensive pressure from Standard. And this is where they can be so dangerous, Clarence, as their small forward line-up, as we know. It's a little bit unconventional in many respects, but you'd think Trent Standard would kick his second here.
Very reliable kick, Trent Standard. Already has one today. Looks pretty good, or it's off to the right, minus score. So normally gobbles those ones up, Trent Standard, Cam, so he'd be disappointed with that.
And look, in a day where, who knows, it might be a low-scoring game, those sorts of opportunities you've just got to try and make.
So Clarence still with the lead, though. 7 points as it comes long from Lockhart. A big booming boot down to the broadcast wing. Bird almost brings down a nice clunk. Can't quite gather in the finish. And a pack forms. It'll be a ball up. That was almost a very nice bit of work there from Zach Bird. He's been in top form, we know that. Thrown in, Wall with a hit, down, looking for O'Brien. There's North Lonnie under it, and he's wrapped up, and it'll be a Clarence kick.
Umpire hasn't minded holding the ball today.
Yeah, it was Wadley under it. he just couldn't get the ball out quick enough. So it'll be Gabby Chambers here with an opportunity to bring it inside 50, and that's what he does. Long ball looking for Siggins. It bounces out of play.
Oh,
no, it doesn't.
goodness me.
It was almost miraculous again. We saw Standard score one like that a couple of weeks ago. They look to get it outside 50. North Lonnie, but it's Pinton who turns it over and home. Might help himself. No, it drops. Does Webley see it through? No, he doesn't. It's a behind. So desperate stuff on the final line there. I thought Holmes maybe had kicked a goal, but North Lonnie escape again, but they're under the pump. Come outside 50. Lockhart does well with one juke. Looks long and looks in Bert's direction. He finds him. Bert with a pretty open inside 50. He just nudges it. He nudges it towards Thomas. Thomas taps it to Couch. Couch in a bit of trouble. Too much trouble, says the umpire. And it'll be a free kick for Clarence. Tim Castle rode him well there. He just goes inside and finds Fisher. Hasn't seen a lot of it yet, Michael Fisher. Goes out to Howlett. Howlett looks for Murphy. Cohen can't meet him as Event takes the ball. Looking to Bird again, and this one's a strong punch from Fisher. So it's good pressure coming on both sides, boys. We saw Standards work in Clarence's forward 50 there, an Event there, very nice steal. So throw in.
9 points is the margin in favour of Clarence. 21-minute mark of the first quarter here at Blundstone Arena. In North Launceston's attacking zone here. They're wrapped up the ball. Still alive though. Clarence get it out of trouble. But lands up in the hands of North Launceston once more. They go forward. Right to the wing. Cox Goodyear. No, it's Walsh that takes the mark. Nothing on offer, so he decides to load up himself. He drives it right to the top of the square. All Clarence though, and it's gone through for a minor score.
Couch been pretty well held so far, Brownie.
Yeah, and look, you wonder how long you can actually afford to have him deep forward like that, Damo. I think they may well adjust that at quarter time and have him rolling predominantly through the midfield, I would think.
So the ball is on the far wing here at Blundstone Arena. Cox Goodyear takes the mark. 48 metres out from goal. Distance will not test him from here, Brownie. He's a very good goal kicker, and he'll go back and have a shot.
Yeah, he'll wind up on that left foot. It'll test him, I would think. Brent will be right on his distance. But this becomes a really important kick. A handy lead for the Roos. Boys, both teams are really rolling the dice trying to hit that kick through the midfield. We've seen a lot of turnovers, but both teams trying to be really brave with their ball movement. Yeah, but equally, the defensive pressure from both sides has been terrific when they haven't got the footy.
Brave, a good word, I think, Brownie. Both really taking the game on.
So, Brad Cox Goodyear. He'll kick from about 48 metres out. Slight angle. He loads right up. It's gone a long, long way, but off to the right for a minor score. So, they pick a point back, North Launceston. It is now an 8-point margin.
So Keegan Wiley with kick-out duties. Kick it to himself and look long to the broadcast wing. Siggins probably his target. He was dealt with after he got rid of it, so it'll be a downfield free kick for Clarence. It's a real give-me. Siggins, just a dinky little ball over the top. He finds Howlett, who's had a bit of it. 1-2 with Siggins. Howlett will look inside now. He turns. It's an interesting looking kick off the outside of his boot. One back, and it's with Whitford. Inside, and it's crunched. It's Walsh. He's brought down in a strong wall tackle. He's literally run into the wall there as Walsh. There'll be another stoppage and another throw up.
Edging closer to quarter time. It's blockbuster clash. 1v2 on the table. Could not be set up any better. Scrappy stuff here, but Cox Goodyear gets it out to McCulloch. Big handball over the top to the captain in Whitford, who drives it inside 50. And a great mark taken there by Burt. He wants to play on quickly. He's got his coach on the run, Tom Couch. He gobbles up the mark. Interfered with as well, but the mark will be paid. Tommy Couch will go back and have a shot directly in front, top of the goal square. And this will be a nice little goal for North Launceston heading into the quarter time break. It'll make the margin just 1 point if he can convert here, the coach, Tom Couch.
It'll be his third as well, Breno, which is remarkable.
It is. We know he's been playing up forward all afternoon so far. Have not seen him run through the midfield yet. So they've got that arsenal up their sleeve as well still. But he's got a long way back here, Tom Couch, to kick this goal. As we said, directly in front. He lines up, splits the middle, gets his third. So Tom Couch gets North Launceston back to within 1 point on the eve of quarter time here at Blundstone Arena.
Oh, look, what a great kick from Zach Burt. Just again, he's got great game sense and awareness, boys. Just knows when and how to make the right decisions on the footy field. And look, he swung around. He had the presence of mind to know that his coach was running forward, and a centimetre perfect kick, which allowed Couch to run onto the ball over the top, and he made no mistake, and all of a sudden we're back to a 1 point ball game.
I think centimetre perfect is copyrighted, Cam, unless you're going to quote the
I
great,
need something else, Brent. It's a fair point.
Millimetre perfect. Just a slight adjustment. And we're in the middle, and it's up again, and it's Siggins. Strong advantage with the bounce. You can't bring it down, though. Whitford in and under, and they pole on top of him. Maybe another ball up.
Must be close to quarter time. 6 goals kicked this quarter, 26-minute mark. Umpire throws it up in the air. Siggins in the ruck for Clarence still. He's played a great game so far. Sam Siggins been involved a lot. Lockhart on the far wing. Delivers it forward. Vent was there, but went over the top of his head. It's with the Roos again, but they're in big trouble. Umpire's blown the whistle and said, you're taken too high. And the Roos will get the free kick through Palmer Hughes. Wants to go right up the wing here. Last minute he decides to centre the ball. Siggins was told to play on, wasn't 15. And now they go up the far side of the ground, Clarence. But the ball ends up with North Launceston again.
So out of the broadcast wing as the siren sounds on a fascinating first quarter. Clarence with a 1 point lead over the ladder leaders. It's a beauty. This one is going to be a cracker. Do not go anywhere. Stay with us in this live stream. AFL Tasmania YouTube. Boys, how we see that fascinating first quarter?
Well, pretty even, wasn't it? I mean, Clarence got off to a terrific start with a couple of goals and just a perfect result, I would have thought, for them coming into this game in the way they would have planned it. But yeah, we just saw a free kick to Couch after he kicked a goal there. And all of a sudden it was back to a 1 or 2 point ball game. So look, really even, boys. As I said during the call, both teams are really willing to take the game on. It's fast, it's quick ball movement. They're trying to get some really quick inside forward 50 entries and catch the defensive players off guard of the opposition team. But look, I'm really enjoying the contest, boys. I would be a little bit concerned if I was Clarence on Jay Lockhart. I thought he had too much room there. He's such a beautiful user of the footy, and a couple of times he sliced them up by foot rolling through the midfield there. So that would be a little bit of a concern for them, but they'll go into their respective groups now and their line coaches and reassess how things are going. But we're set up for a really good contest, and I think Jeremy Webley would be happy in some respects. North Launceston certainly haven't blown them out of the way. Been really impressed with the defensive side of both teams, particularly the tackling.
I think they'll be really happy with that, Clarence. Obviously that little bit of undisciplined play which saw North Launceston click that extra bonus goal. But as I said, I spoke to the president on the way, and that they really are surprised about how well they're going this year, I think, and really building towards next year. So to be up by a point at quarter time against a top of the table team, undefeated for 2017, they'll be really wrapped with that. Interesting to see big Cole Garland's here, Cam, from the Melbourne Footy Club, out there having a listen to the North Launceston huddles. Obviously, probably former teammate with Tommy Couch at the D's.
That's right.
Yeah, I believe he's good friends with Tommy Couch, so that'd be why he's there. And I tell you what, not bad wisdom to just have Stroll on and give you a bit of advice.
And he's doing a bit too. Look at that. He's out there giving a few pointers. That's him in the black there on the far right of screen.
And he is with the North Lonnie defenders. So, geez, yeah, that's not bad IP to tap into, is it?
Absolutely. We read anything into that? I think if he did come back home when his AFL career is over, he'd go to the Hobart City Demons.
I'd be stunned if he's not in red and blue. We all know his heartbeat's true. Yeah, boys, is it strange for me to say that I actually thought Couch was reasonably well held in that first term, despite kicking 3?
Well, I tried to back you up there, and I didn't want to, but no, we're so used to him dominating the midfield. But he is very smart in the forward line, isn't he? He knows where to run. He up and presents, and he looks like he's got some really good chemistry happening with Zach Burt. He's just a real workhorse, Zach Burt. gives him a target. He's always in front. If he doesn't mark it, he brings the ball at ground level, and he's a difficult matchup as well because he's good in the air, as we know, but also when the ball hits the deck, he can often be the first to pounce on it. So, look, really enjoying the contest. Not sure which way this will go. You'd think at some particular point in time during this game, North Launceston will have it on their term, just with the quality of their team, and then they've just got to make the most of their opportunities. Standon was a disappointing miss, wasn't it, for Clarence? He'd be disappointed with that one, but he's going to have a say in this game, no doubt about that.
So now Cole Garland having a chat to Tommy Couch. So very handy just to get that sort of work off the bench. But I think we'll have a brief break now, boys, and gear up for what should be a cracking second term here at Blundstone Arena. Stay with us. So back here at Blundstone Arena for the second quarter. It's delicately poised after turn one. 1 point lead for the Clarence Roos. The pouch, as they like to call it. So a good first term from the Roos, but a good first term from Tom Couch with 3 goals. There's North Lonnie right in this one.
Gee, it's a star-studded lineup inside the 50 at the moment. McCulloch, Burt, Whitford, Couch, Bennett.
Some names there.
Powerhouse team as the ball slammed into the turf here at Blundstone Arena. We're underway in the second quarter. What a cracking opening it was. And Clarence tried to get the kick away. Didn't eventuate. Now in the hands of North Launceston again. The kicking to the right of screen in this second quarter. It's Walsh on the far wing. Plays on. Drives it long. Just on the 50-metre line. Punched out of bounds. Boundary throw in.
Geez, a beautiful kick of the footy. That's his left side too, Mark Walsh. Just about the best kick going around, I would have thought, in the competition. Damo on both sides of his body. Apologies to Ian Callanan, sorry. He'll be there.
As it's thrown in, it's won well by Lee. socket inside 50. McCulloch with a slap. I think it was Walsh again. It was wrapped up. It'll be a ball up inside 50 for North Launceston as they look to try and get an early goal. So around the grounds, Launceston have started well. We'll get to that in a moment. Ball up. And it looks likely to be another stoppage here, boys. No, Clarence get it out. Maybe not to their advantage. Handballed over on the outside of the boot looking for Burt. It's fisted through by Holmes, so they escape Clarence.
He's in a perfect position then. Holmes did well. Defensive punch through there. I think Clarence would be fairly happy at this stage, Brent, with the match up on McCulloch. Bailey's done a pretty good job on him so far in this game.
As we come to expect from Jace Bailey, star of the competition, of course. Had a great start to the season, shut down some big opponents. Michael Fisher out of defence, but straight to the opposition. Not the best kick. And North Lonnie play on very quickly, and McCulloch coming out takes the mark. And you put the jinx on him there, Cam.
Well, I did, and I'm just trying to think. I think it was Alex Lee from the ruck and the kick out from full back, and he just had the presence of mind to give a hands off to Whitford, who hit him with a beautiful pass. And that's that kick. It's the most important kick for mine in footy, Brent. That one inside 50, and if you can hit up a target, it's so valuable.
McCulloch, the former Brisbane line, of course. It's off to the left, though. Minus score.
Quick around the grounds, boys. Lauderdale 41 lead the Dockers 13. And Will Cleland's just kicked a goal to put the Tigers just a goal behind, 42-48 down at Twin Ovals. And Launceston off to a cracking start. They lead 6 goals straight, 36 to Glenorchy 2-1-13.
Some cracking games around the state this afternoon in the TSL, no doubt about that. We've got a beauty on our hands here at Blundstone Arena as well. Ball to the turf, umpire will ball it up.
Not the best kick there coming in from Kyle Palmer-Hughes. That is probably something that he's worked really hard on his game. He's got an interesting ball drop, but when he's up and running, he's a real accumulator and a hard worker.
So Lee with a hit out, but it doesn't move far. The pack forms, or they wrestle it out, but this one looks likely to be another ball up, and it is. So congested stuff to start this second term. It was a beauty of a first term. Clarence really got going as Lee battles with Siggins. Lee wins it. Whitford takes the ball out. Set a task. It was nicely swatted down by Howlett, but it might not pay off as it might go North Lonnie's way. In fact, it does. I think it was a vent that was dealt with there by Holmes. So
50 metres.
It'll be 50. Undisciplined stuff there from Holmes. And he's just about gifted North Lonnie a goal, you'd think here, boys. Jack Event, he took the ball and he was dealt with afterwards, and then I'm guessing there were some choice words exchanged.
He did. The umpire did spend a little bit of time looking in the direction of Michael Fisher, so I don't want to necessarily credit him with the blame there, Fisher, but unless he was questioning the original decision of Holmes to be rewarded a 50-metre penalty against him. But gee, that's a disappointing one for the Roos again.
It's not at all what they needed to start this second term. So Jack Event strolls on in and puts it through. North Lonnie with the first of the second quarter.
Look, he's been really enjoying being freed up, I think, in his footy. He's been a very disciplined player for North Launceston over the journey, particularly on shutdown roles, but he becomes a really dangerous forward when he can push through and kick goals. Isn't helped, obviously, when he gets a 50-metre penalty from a Clarence perspective. But North Launceston just rolling on a little bit now, boys, out to a 7-point lead.
2 goals gifted from 50-metre penalty, 1 goal from 50-metre and 1 from the goal square, of course, earlier in the match. So, really, Clarence giving a couple away, and that may come to hurt them towards the end of the game. We'll have to wait and see as we restart. It's a shocking bounce to get it underway again. Umpire will call it back. So the lead now is out to 7 points to North Launceston's advantage. Umpire's blowing the whistle here.
Yeah, free kick to Cox Goodyear, I think. Oh no, it's back to Jay Lockhart.
So North Lonnie drive it forward, off to the far side of the ground. They play on super quickly. Inside 50, anybody home? Bennett's there, couldn't clunk the mark. Roos get it out of danger. They go to the far side of the ground. Not much on offer here. Grace providing a lead, but player opts to go long. right to the far side of the ground. Good mark taken, it wasn't paid. But North Bonnie get the advantage of the football. Ends up with Clarence though. Here's Grace. He gets the kick away inside 50 now. Oh, clever play from the Roos. Here's a chance for their next goal. It is a beauty. So Clarence pegged one back here at Blundstone Arena.
Beautiful work there from Blackburn, wasn't it?
Very clever stuff. So that's a much needed goal for the Roos. And Camp, that was clever piece of play.
Smart goal, kept his feet, didn't lose his balance, had terrific awareness around him, didn't panic. And just what the doctor ordered there for the Roos, we're back to a 1-point ball game. So it's just going to be one of those tight games, I think, today, boys. And full credit to the Roos, they've stuck at their task pretty well and giving a good account of themselves on their home dunghill today.
They are indeed. So back in the centre we go. It's been a cracking clash so far. Up it goes. They just leave it. We'll have another go. Rinse and repeat. Throws this one up, Lee and Siggins. It's a 50-50, no one with a clear win. Siggins gets a kick out, Foon with a hand to Lockhart. Lockhart over, nice vision, finds Pearton. He looks to get it moving, and moving is what he does. He finds Richter Solder, he's wrapped up immediately. And it will be a Clarence kick taken quickly through Jones. Finds Keegan Wiley. So a decent first turn, Wiley. Goes long over the head of Weberley. Event there to claim it for North Launceston. He's wrapped up in a good tackle and he might be in a bit of trouble. No, says the umpire.
Just had a little fumble there, didn't he, Event? Gives Clarence an opportunity now, just outside their forward 50 to reset from a stoppage and hopefully get a 4-0 forward for them.
So big tap down by Lee. Ball wrapped up. Umpire says, "You're holding it, son." And North Launceston get the free kick. Some more undisciplined play there from the Roos.
It's young Tyson
and it's another
Hanslow.
50-metre penalty. So Clarence have just mentally dropped their game here a few times today.
That's a disappointing aspect of their game, Damo, at the moment, because everything else is rolling along pretty well, and they had it covered. Young Wiley was back as a loose man in defence when North Launceston were probably going to bomb that forward, and now all of a sudden Taylor Whitfield, and he's a man that you don't want delivering the ball inside 50.
He's a very good kick. The captain of North Launceston, the premiership skipper, of course, from a couple of years ago. It's not his greatest kick, though, Taylor Whitfield. We gave him a big rap, and he dishes us that, but normally very reliable. Umpires paid a free kick here.
Yeah, it was holding man, Breno. It was holding man.
Holding.
And it'll be Bradcock's Goodyear's kick on the paint of 50.
Well, we saw him have a shot over the other side of the ground in the first quarter, and Cam was right. The distance was probably just on his mark, and this will just be on his mark as well, Cam, you'd think.
Yeah, look, I'll give him a chance from here, Breno. If he can just wind up on that arc on that left foot, he just might get there.
He's got a big booming boot, doesn't he, Bradcock's Goodyear?
He certainly does. Premiership player, of course, with the Bombers. Back-to-back flags. And he lines up now directly in front. He goes on that left. It's a high ball. Straight to the square. Not quite there, unfortunately, for Cox Goodyear. And away for a minor score. So it is a 2-point lead now to the Bombers. 4-4-28 to
Jones
4-6-30.
sells Grace into a bit of trouble. Sorry, Breno, as Wiley brings it out of defence. Very nearly panic stations there for Clarence. Jones just maybe a bit too quick to use it and sold his teammate into trouble, but they're all right. On the far side wing, it's brought out for a throw-in.
You've called him a few times today, boys, Keegan Wiley. Been really impressed with his game. He's really grown and matured as a player in the pre-season, obviously. He just looks right at home and really assured in the back half of the Roos.
So thrown in. It's an interesting contest there between Wall and McCulloch, won by Wall. Jones, and then it's out on the far side for Standen. He gets it and goes. Just nudges a little ball for Holmes. Holmes ignores the runner. He's got Jones free. Ignores him too. Goes in for Wall, who's all on his own. He turns to goal, has a shot, and puts it through. Wade Wall with a sausage roll here at Blundstone Arena. The Roos regain the lead.
Yeah, look, a good response, and Kyle Palmer-Hughes was involved there. But well done, just the presence of mind from Holmes there, and well done to Wade Wall. He just knew when to run and timed his run beautifully to run into that forward 50, found a bit of space, played on and kicked a valuable goal for the Roos. We've got a ripper of a game, boys.
We do. It is a serious game, 1v2 on the ladder. We expect nothing else when the two top teams collide in a premiership season match. It's very exciting stuff as we go again. McCulloch into the ruck for the Bombers. Webberley gets it out, and that is almost in the back, you would think, but the umpire will ball it up. So it is Clarence with a 4-point lead, 5-4-34, 4-6-30. We've gone 10 minutes, second quarter. McCulloch taps it away to Whitford, who gets it forward for the Bombers. Couch is lurking. Ball picked up though, they go for goal, North Launceston, and just off to the left. So they've missed an opportunity there.
It's Caleb Thomas, I think, on that occasion, Brent.
He read it really well, but it looks like he just wasn't balanced enough.
Free kick up the field, so...
It's been a few of these, Damo.
It has. They've been hot on them today.
So Grace goes forward for the Roos to the wing. Wall takes the mark. The goal kicker from a few moments ago, and that's not his best work. It's out of bounds on the full. So North Lonnie with a chance to restart here. They trail this one by 3 points at the moment. Oh, and there's something going on here off the ball, boys. The player's down from Clarence.
I'm just trying to think, is it Aidan Grace in the long sleeves there or not?
I don't know. He's in some sort of trouble though. The play's going on. So Clarence go forward. Mark's not taken. North Lonnie managed to get it out. Player's still on the ground. I think it is Aidan Grace camp. You're right, but a bit was going on there behind the ball. We'll get back to that in a moment. But play, they certainly didn't worry about it. They let it go, the umpires, as it's brought back in. Mark taken, and it's taken by Jared Harper. And he'll go back and have a shot on goal, slight angle, and kick from about 35 metres out as Aidan Grace comes from the ground for the Roos.
You'd be disappointed if you were North Launceston there. They had plenty of time to set up. It was always going to be a difficult shot from the boundary line, and then all of a sudden Blackburn just had too much. Oh, it was Harper, is it? Sorry, just had too much room and space, and he gets a shot on goal.
So Harper, 35 metres out, slight angle. Umpire does not move, and it's a goal to Clarence. It's their sixth of the game, and they increase their lead now to 9 points in this blockbuster top of the table clash in the TSL.
So there we go, boys. Another goal for Clarence. Geez, they've started this game well. And it looked like North Lonnie maybe catch them at the start of this quarter, but nicely fought back, Cam.
And this will be the test, won't it? I'm really interested to see if Clarence do get a run on and kick a couple of goals here, just what may happen with that North Launceston forward line, and are they tempted to throw in, people like Couch, obviously, and roll them through the midfield.
So Lee with a hit out, not to his team though. It'll be another ball up. So they'll have another crack at it.
Justin O'Brien for the Roos spending a fair bit of time as at a defensive midfield, the former coach of Dosa, who's come across to the Roos recently.
Siggins out of the centre, tapped down cleverly by Wall, but to the advantage of North Launceston, unfortunately. They get it to the commentary side wing here at Blundstone Arena. Bennett was there, but it's the Roos that have advantage. O'Brien gets the handball away to Jones, who's in a bit of trouble. He's dragged down with the footy. And so is Keegan Wiley. Umpire will ball it up though, so...
Jeez.
I reckon Keegan Wiley's copped one in the face. It might have even been a clash of heads or just bouncing off the chest of Tommy Bennett. But well done. Terrific from the young fella there, because he's bounced straight back up and setting up behind the footy. And they're really happy, aren't they, to have him as the +1 back there, Damo?
They are indeed. It was one of those ones, Cam, you could see it coming, but he still took it on. As Holmes is wrapped up, he gets it out. Siggins misses his mark with the handball and out for another throw. So maybe this one, the temperature gauge just going up a touch.
Well, the crowd in the field certainly a lot louder here, boys. I know it's right in front of us at the moment, but the game's seemed to have gone up a notch in the last 5 minutes or so. You're right, Damo. Event dragged down.
I'm interested in what's happening off the footy here. Clarence have got an extra couple at the stoppage. But North Launceston are happy at the moment to have Jay Lockhart just 15 metres back. They've also got 2 other free players inside the forward 50, so I expect Clarence to win the stoppage here, but North Launceston will have numbers back.
So ball spills to ground, lots of players on it, stacks on. Umpire will ball it up once more. 9-point buffer to Clarence's advantage. They play this ground, they know this ground so well. Blood rule here, boys, I think.
Jack Event. strolls off. So it'll be ball up. Wall and Lee. Wall wins convincingly. But it's not to Clarence's favour. It's Foon who gets on the boot. Big Holmer. He's been quiet. Couch bustles in. Not sure he got rid of it legally, but play goes on. Couch again. He's in a Clarence sandwich, and he's brought over the line, so it'll be a throw in.
Hard as a cat's head, isn't he? He knew the contest was coming. He almost forced himself into the tackle just to get it out of bounds.
Doesn't mind the rough stuff.
Ball right in front of us here. It's Cam Brown's phone starts ringing. And stacks on again. Not too far from where the ball was thrown in. So 16 minutes gone in the second quarter. Absolute belter of a game. Up it goes. Lee's in the ruck for North Launceston. Wall for Clarence. Ball to ground again. Jones is in the thick of it. Umpire ball it up again. So ball not travelling too far here at the moment.
I reckon he was lucky there himself. He had an option. He could have actually dished a hand, but the umpire was blinded, so got away with one, I reckon, Jones. He comes up. Wall just cannons it with the arm. Lockhart, lovely pick up. And good use, puts it on the far side. He's got runners in Pearce and Donnelly. Donnelly, bright red hair. Gets it to an ally, goes long. Burt can't quite gather. Trickle towards the line. Clarence with the numbers. Shovelled back for Fisher. Just over the top. Oh, there's a bit of tunnel ball action.
It's clever,
Clarence
wasn't it?
managed to get it clear.
Look at
Weberly
this.
looking to run onto it. Weberly in a foot race.
Oh.
He's been outrun. And
Well
on
done.
escape here as Bennett takes a mark on defensive 50. Goes inside. And North Launceston will get out of trouble event.
Did well there, North Launceston, but that wasn't their best work. Here's Siggins now, gets the handball over the top, and now a chance for the Roos to go along again. It goes right inside 50, one-on-one contest in the square. The mark's been taken. So Clarence will go back. It's going to be a tough angle potentially, but they're going to have a shot on goal.
I was just about to give him a rap, boys. Connor Young, he was the player there that was under a fair bit of pressure with Weberly in that back half, and spotted a player up when he was under a fair bit of physical pressure, but unfortunately in the one-on-one contest there, terrific mark to Weberly.
The coach, Jeremy Weberly, goes straight, goes high, and gets Clarence's 7th of the game. And their lead now increases even further to 15 points. So the Roos well on top at the moment.
This will be interesting to see what happens here, because I'm not sure they can leave Couch too long. In matter of fact, just as I say that, boys, he looks like he is going to go in. No, he's not. I thought he was going to wander into the ends in the midfield there, boys. But he's backing his players in there to do the job for him. At the moment, looks like Walsh, Whitford and Cox Goodyear, so it's a fair trio.
It is indeed, with Lee bringing it down to them. So you can understand why he's got a bit of faith as it's thrown up. Lee, that one's halved. It'll be won by North Launceston and punted forward. Holmer under it. He doesn't gather. In fact, Holmes comes out with it. Pearton, good intervention. Finds Bennett over the top to Walsh. They've got runners everywhere, North Launceston. A dinky ball inside 50. Couch out in front. A top mark, and he'll go back and look to kick goal number 4.
He's a gun. He is a gun, Cam, Tom Couch.
Yeah, just about the best player in the competition.
Oh.
From what I've seen in
And very
the
humble
first
too.
part of the year.
Very humble man.
Yeah, he doesn't pump his own tyres up too
No,
much.
he does not. Or his team for that matter. They're flying, but it's always about improving and learning.
So, Tom Couch, the former Melbourne Demon. Comes on in. Got a decent piece of it. And never looked like missing. Tom Couch with goal number 4. Fires up North Lonnie here in quarter number 2.
He was up and about there when he got that goal. Bit of gesturing going on. And they needed it, that's for sure, Cam. It gets them back to within 9 points. So a much needed one as we tick into time on in this second quarter.
Interesting thing there, boys. Obviously, Castle got the big job on him. That's 4 goals. I think they'll still persist with him, but North Launceston would be happy with the matchup, and it looks like they're going to try and isolate him a little bit deep forward as well and push some of their other players up the ground. But that would be a concern. Not sure who the next matchup might be there, Damo, if we had to have a change on with Castle on Couch.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Lee wins the hit out, goes nowhere, and it'll be another ball up. Couch obviously has identified Clarence's backline as somewhere he can get on top personally and for the team's sake. So it's worked so far, but they still trail here at Blundstone Arena.
So the ball in a scrap at the moment. Umpire blows his whistle and we'll ball it up once more, not far from the centre circle. So around the grounds, it's Lonnie leading by 20 points at Windsor Park, 42-22. Your Dogs going nicely in the AFL camp, 16-point leaders at half-time.
Yeah, they get nothing from the men in white either, Brent, in that game. So
back here at Bellreeve, it's Clarence now, the handball over the top. Donnelly wrapped up. Takes a little while to blow his whistle, but does eventually.
Damo, early stages of the season, but gee, I've been thrilled with the improvement of Clarence this season. We saw them a lot in the second half of the year, guys, and it was a real battle for them, wasn't it? And they copped a few shellackings along the way, but in a short turnaround in pre-season, obviously some key personnel coming back in, but also some really good acquisitions, particularly in the back half, some maturity in young players, and they've managed to, I guess, progress that list and their form fairly quickly.
Yeah, and Jeremy Webley, as the ball comes in, it's won by McCulloch. O'Brien gets a kick out. Lockhart out on the outer wing. It's a bouncing ball and it's out in front of Denman. Just nudges it for Couch. And Couch can't quite get a decent piece of it. They're out here, Clarence, on the far wing, long down the line, and it's punched over. As I was saying, Jeremy Webley's been really happy with that sort of middle tier. It's taken a leap this year.
That's where the improvements come.
You know, your Keegan Wileys of the world, young Holmes has acquitted himself very, very nicely.
And don't forget, he's about to put his stamp on this team as well. He was caretaker last year, took over from Trent Bartlett, but this year he's got it in his own right and be able to do what he wants to do with it.
And he's playing some good footy himself as well, which helps.
Ordinary recruit he is, isn't he? So it's a good one to get back as we see the ball dribble over again for another boundary throw. And yeah, I think they've been massive improvers. It's been great to watch from the sidelines.
So it'll be another throw in. Only a few of them. It's been a good contest inside this one. So thrown in, Siggins and Lee. Siggins with the decisive hand. They get it out. It's back with Siggins. He tries a socker. Donnelly blocks it. Pearton racing to get to it. They get it out. Clarence is Brady Jones in and under. He takes a piece of Walsh rather. They'll just scurry it out of play in the finish to North Launceston. There'll be another throw in. So Clarence here at Blundstone Arena, or the pouch as they affectionately know it. Oh, it looks like might have been deliberate there. Brent, I missed the call.
Looks like it, yeah. So North Launceston have a chance to load up. They do, right to the 50-metre arc. Pack of players flew, but ball spills on its own outwards. Event is there, picked up now though by the Bombers. Kick went to no one. Couch is there lurking though. Wants to look at goal. Can't do it on that occasion. Lockhart spins around. Handball over the top. And now a chance for North Launceston. And they go towards goal. It's gone across the face. Mark couldn't be taken in the square. And now the Roos out of danger. Here's Siggins. Takes a bounce. Looks forward. Finds the option, but intercepted beautifully by Lee.
It was a lovely kick from Webley into the square, but they spoiled each other on that one, Brownie.
Jay Lockhart, he was under all sorts of pressure there, but just worked in a phone booth and managed to get Launceston a foray inside 50. But you're right, they'd be disappointed with the Roos that last little bit of play, Damo.
Taylor Whitford gets the handball backwards to nobody in particular. Ball locked to the ground again. Another ball up. So we're 24 minutes gone this second quarter. It's the Roos by 9 points. Really entertaining contest on the TSL live stream this afternoon.
Once against boys in a stoppage, both teams happy to have a +1. We've got Wiley at the moment and also Lockhart for both respective teams.
Here we go again for North Launceston. The umpire's blown the whistle though, and a free kick's been paid here, I think, boys.
Gee, it could have been a potential advantage there, Damo, but the umpire's going to call it back. Clarence will have an opportunity now to reset.
It's Taylor Whitford that'll take the kick.
We can see Wiley inside the hole.
So Whitford. We'll look at goal here, Cam, I think. So have a crack. Plays on, goes around the body, high to the top of the square. Holmer's lurking, couldn't take the mark and punched away by Michael Fisher. for another boundary throw-in.
Holmes is actually...
a free kick being paid.
Yeah, he's claimed it before the line there, and his adventure has got him a free kick because he's caught high by Pearton. So elsewhere, Launceston in real control, 32 points up over Glenorchy.
This is extraordinary from Glenorchy.
Long and strong down the line, and it's gathered nicely by Murphy Cohen. Or is it Mastrocola even? Mastrocola down the line, just nudges and finds Jones, his skipper. In the helmet. Jones got plenty offering.
Yeah, back to Murphy Cohen, boys.
Back to Murphy Cohen, and Long down the line. Blackburn under it. Gets a piece of it. Walsh can't gather for the Bombers. They managed to get their way out and get their way out well, but the kick's offline. Straight to Murphy Cohen again. Bouncing into forward 50. Tapped on by Siggins. Standing there. The little forward does his work and does it nicely. It's dropped off. It's a good bit of work there by Timmy Castle. Tries to get Siggins. North Lonnie, desperate stuff. A wrap up Siggins. He's going nowhere. There'll be a ball up. As Jay Lockhart fires up. There'll be a free kick. There'll be a free kick for Clarence here.
It's not a spiteful free kicks given away in those congested situations in a stoppage. Players have just got to have cooler heads in those situations. The last thing opposition coaches want is an opportunity for a team to get an inside 50, and Bailey will have that opportunity now. Is it, boys, or is it Castle?
I think it's Timmy Castle.
He loads up, Castle. No, he plays on, goes around his man. Handballs off to Chambers. Chambers goes on the right and gets the goal for Clarence. So Davey Chambers gets Clarence's 8th goal, and that is a much needed one right on the stroke of half time. They increase that lead now to 15 points. Gabby Chambers, what an effort.
That's a beauty, that goal, wasn't it? I thought Timmy Castle had almost sold him into trouble there.
Oh, yeah, I was exactly the same thing there. I thought Castle was going to do the old David Pearce trick from the 80s and run around the man on the mark, but then all of a sudden he realised he didn't have enough space and good support, and it was a good finish, wasn't it, from Chambers, and it comes as a really important time of the game as we just called 28-minute mark, a 15-point lead.
So this would be a big time result if it was to eventuate. It's going the Roos way at the minute. Don't count out North Launceston. They are a classy outfit. Up it goes. Won by Wall. Back with a Roos. Only for an instant. Whitford misses his target. O'Brien strolls in. Has a look at goal. It's bouncing. No! Goal time for the Roos. A quick one out of the middle, and they're on song here at the pouch.
There's lots of energy, isn't there? They ran to Chambers in the last goal, and then they've ran to O'Brien there. Terrific work from the centre bounce, and we've got a 21-point ball game now. Clarence midfield on top, boys.
Just remember, boys, the Bombers gifted a couple of goals as well. We know that. So if you take those off, Clarence well on top here.
I think what's fantastic, whatever happens in this game, and you boys, you've been giving some of the scores from around the grounds, but you've got an even competition in the TSL this year.
And it didn't look that way early doors in the season, Brownie. It's opened up nicely. 9 goals for Clarence and 9 individual goal scorers, so plenty of contribution as it's won by Lee. Just a quick boot out of the centre. Doesn't go too far. Event for North Launceston. He finds Bennett. Cox Goodyear with a slide. Gathers inside. Oh, it's late contact. That's 50 metres. That's got to be... It was Walsh who took the mark, and he came in very late, O'Brien.
Yeah. I've seen O'Brien play a lot of footy, boys, and that didn't surprise me. I'm not saying it was a crude effort, but he does commit very hard at the body.
Makes him earn it, Brownie.
And Mark Walsh is going to make no mistake from there. He would have given it a ride from 50 anyway. It's a beautiful kick of the footy, but
that's
disappointing.
It is right on the stroke of half time. They've got a nice 21-point lead, the Roos. That's about to be cut to 15 thanks to Mark Walsh here. And as you said, Brownie makes no mistake from the easiest of shots, and that lead pegged back to 15 points heading into half time.
So that's a real disappointment for the Roos because they had the momentum, Brownie, and that just stings right on the edge of half time.
It's been an unlikely feature of this game, Damo, the ill discipline from both teams at particular stages of this contest, and silly free kicks, 50-metre penalties given away, which could prove in the wash-up when they get the tape of this game. It could be really costly.
Up it goes, Lee down, not long left in this term. Can they get a late one, North Launceston? It's Couch out of the middle. We haven't seen him there too often today. Red and white everywhere in defence. Siggins the one on the ball. Goes long down the line. Webberley into the back of Lockhart. And it'll be a free kick, but it doesn't matter. Half time here at Blundstone Arena, and we've got a game on our hands. Clarence 9-4-58 lead North Launceston 6-7-43 in the top of the table blockbuster. How'd you see the first half, fellas?
I enjoyed it. I'm not sure about you, Brent, but a 15-point lead is probably about right. But North Launceston have given away a couple of goals, both teams in that respect, and we mentioned the discipline a little bit throughout the call, but 15 points, Clarence would be thrilled, I would have thought, coming to the game to know there'd be 15 points up at half-time, but in front of their home crowd, their own turf here, they'll give themselves every chance in the second half. North Launceston just haven't quite got their game rolling as we'd like. And look, in fairness to Clarence, they've held the North, apart from Couch, the rest of the North Launceston forwards have been pretty well held. Clarence are getting probably a more even spread and contributions for players through the midfield. The defensive work has been really good. We've mentioned Wiley on a few occasions throughout the call. He's been the +1 on a few occasions and has done really well.
Look, I've thoroughly enjoyed this contest. Clarence have been fantastic. A few undisciplined moments as we've seen, but as you said, to have that lead going into halftime, they would have accepted that at the start of the game, I would have thought. So it sets it up beautifully, Damo, for a massive second half coming up.
Just quickly run through the goal kickers for the leading side. Clarence Roos, Wade Wall with one, Aidan Grace with one, Jared Harper with one, Gabby Chambers with a lovely one, Michael Blackburn, Jeremy Webley, Jackson O'Brien, Trent Standen and Sam Siggins all with one in a good team performance so far for North Launceston. Tom Couch has 4, Jack Event 1 and Mark Walsh with 1 right on the shadow of half time from the square. So Clarence with a healthy lead here, 15 points, nothing to be sneezed at against North Launceston, but a big second half on the way. Stay with us, we'll have a quick break now and gear up for what should be a fascinating second half in this top of the table clash. back for the second half here at Blundstone Arena. Clarence Roos with a 15-point lead going into the third term. It should be an absolute cracker. It has been so far. Boys, what do we expect from this second half?
Right, yeah, here you go, Brandy.
No, you'd think North Launceston would come out pretty strong. I'm sure they would have had time to reassess what happened in the first half. They were just out-muscled a little bit around the contest, and the Clarence boys in particular in the midfield had a couple of clean takeaways, so they'll readjust that. It'd be interesting to see what they do. Damo with the forward line set up, they'll probably persist with that and back their midfield in to have a better second half. The Roos, look, they wouldn't need to change too much what they're doing. They've been able to get 9 goals from 9 different individual goal kickers, so it's a nice even spread with them. They're not relying on too few. But providing they can maintain this intensity around the contest, particularly when they haven't got the footy, been really impressed with their work defensively, then they could go a long way to causing an upset here. Geez, they would have loved to have a 21-point lead, Brent, eh? That last goal from Mark Walsh in the 50-metre penalty on Jackson O'Brien, who did so very well with a goal just moments before for himself, bursting out of the centre. But it's all set up for a really interesting second half.
Before we get stuck back into this one, boys, quickly around the grounds, after a goalless opening quarter, the Tigers have prevailed over Devonport by 11 points at the Twin Ovals, so a good win for Aaron Vince and his men down there. It's been 4 straight losses, I think, for the Tigers, so they're back on the winners list. Devonport's first win still eludes them. Launceston dominating, 11 straight goals at Windsor Park, 11 straight against Glenorchy, 3-5-23. Boys, it's quite unbelievable that Glenorchy are almost looking down the barrel of 4 straight losses. It's quite unbelievable.
I didn't see it coming. And look, in fairness, they did lose some celebrated premiership personnel in the off-season. And they've had some injuries and the like, and they probably get hurt when different Mariners and different players are out of their organisation. But look, they'd be disappointed with that result, I would have thought. We saw Launceston last week, boys, and look, they were pretty disappointing against Hobart City. But isn't it amazing, this game played above the shoulders, and you get back on your home track, you get 7 days, and it's all about the response. And to the credit, Sam Lonigan and the Launceston boys would be delighted how they've come back today.
And the other game down at the Lauderdale Oval, it is the Bombers dominating 12-10-82 to Burnie 3-1-19. No real surprise there, lads.
No, not at all. But I guess the story out of that is Lauderdale could jump to third if results pan out the way they're going. So hasn't it been just a terrific response from Darren Winter's men after a real tough start to the season?
Well, they were 0-3, weren't they? So for them to jump to third, as you said, Damo, if things go their way by 5 o'clock this afternoon, one of the big stories of the year.
So not too far from getting underway here at Blundstone Arena. A cracking clash so far, and you'd think it pans out much the same way. North Lonnie with a bit of work to do. Their forward line outside of Tom Couch hasn't been functioning as you would have thought. It's star-studded. There's some big names there, Breno. They want better from them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Holmer coming off, which is interesting, boys. Starting on the bench for this third quarter.
Just struggled to get into it, Holmer, hasn't he? And even the game that we see, in fairness, we haven't seen all his games, but we can only comment on the 6 quarters of footy. And no doubt he's going to be a terrific player for North Launceston, that big body, particularly around the contest, but for whatever reason, just hasn't played his best footy when we've seen him.
So we're not far away from a restart here for the second half. Big second half coming up from Blundstone Arena. Clarence with a 15-point lead at half-time. As we're underway, Lee in the ruck for North Launceston, but O'Brien, quick hands for Clarence. Ball smothered by Taylor Whitford. Back in the hands of the Roos though. O'Brien over the top. Gets it off to Wade Wall. Ball intercepted. Back in the hands of the Bombers. Lee dragged down without the footy. The umpire lets it go. Roos get it inside 50. The first inside 50 of the quarter. Jeremy Weberly spilt the mark. Ball back in the hands of the Bombers. Tied up from Grace. Donnelly's in there for the Bombers. Weberly. Ball to ground. Donnelly gets the quick hands out though, and the Bombers are away. Up the Coventry side wing here at Bellreeve. Punch away from Bailey. Flicks the footy, but out of bounds now. Boundary throw in.
So a start with intent here from Clarence. They're in control of the contest, and they just want to keep the foot on the pedal. It'll be thrown in. Wade Wall And Lee gets a decent piece out of it. He goes straight over, you'd think. It was just helped backwards by Brenner, but it eventually finds its way over the line. Out for another throw.
Right in front of us here at Belrive. In it comes. Ball tapped down by the Bombers. Hands with the Roos though, and that's not a great kick. It's out of the full. O'Brien just keeps it in play. No, it's going to O'Brien. So well done by Jackson O'Brien. He centres the footy. Man on his own, but it was a man on his own, but with three North Launceston players coming at him in the end, and Lockhart runs away with it, finds Zach Burt on the lead. He chips it over the top, Burt to Whitford, takes the mark, and he'll go back now and have a kick.
Almost fortunate not to give away 50 there, Jones.
I thought exactly the same, Damo, and you think they would have learnt from their mistakes in the first quarter of the Roos, giving away 3 big goals. Whitford goes inside 50, hits his man on the chest. I think it's Bennett on the far side of the ground. Tommy Bennett, Cam, is a good story, and he missed that premiership a couple of years ago and worked his way back and played in last year's grand final, but unfortunately North Launceston couldn't get it done for him.
It was Achilles injury, didn't he? And a great cricketer for Launceston, so a terrific sportsman in his own right.
He's going to have a shot on goal here, Tommy Bennett. He loads up right on 50. It's going all the way, but off to the right for a behind. So 14-point margin now here at Belrive.
Bailey with the football to bring it back in for Clarence. Roos with a handy lead. I want to extend it. Long, booming ball. He's got plenty of that as Bailey. And a good clunk from Blackburn. He does well. Turns and goes. Gets it moving quickly. No one there for him. It was a poor kick.
Just rushed it.
Lockhart short. Finds Cox Goodyear. Lockhart's been very handy as that loose man, hasn't he? Comes wide for Holmer. We talked about him. He needs to get involved in the play a little bit. Big Holmer. Looking along. Sends Pitt in a task. Burt looks to bustle in. Holmes comes out with it for Clarence. Grace can't quite gather. Donnelly on hands and knees. Hands out. It's Palmer Hughes with good use by foot. Finds Blackburn. He can get it onto Webberley, who's just got the goals to look at. And Webberley marks and he'll go back. And I'd be surprised if he makes a mistake from this distance.
Terrific play by Cole Palmer Hughes on the boundary line, just in front of our commentary position, boys. He had the presence of mind just to evade a tackle, didn't panic, set up on his left foot, and this goal is brought about from his terrific play on the boundary line and good presence of mind from Blackburn as well.
So Webberley, with a bit of a hobble, puts it through the sticks, and it's another goal for Clarence. They're now out by 20 points.
You mentioned a bit of a hobble there, Damo. I noticed when he got the mark in the goal square in the second quarter, just after he kicked it, he looked like, I think it was in that marking contest with Connor Young, that he might have hurt it in that. So maybe that's why they're playing him a little bit deeper forward. But a really good response from the Roos, 20-point lead, BC.
Yeah, look, just the start they're after, isn't it? As the sun starts to come out here at Blundstone Arena. It's getting a little dark there, back underway. Cox Goodyear's in there for North Launceston. He races out of the centre square with a footy, kicks it inside 50. Ball bouncing, not the right way, and through for a minor score. So they bring it back in, the Roos. Intercepted, no, good mark taken there by Brenner. Gets it off to the skipper Jones, keeps it in play. Castle gets the handball away. They're right up the wing here, the Clarence Footy Club. And now Blackburn takes the mark. Looks to play on quickly. Drives it long, straight to the opposition though. Mark taken there by the Bombers through Pearce. Switches play to McCulloch. Takes the grab, long way from home for him.
They need a lift from McCulloch.
They do indeed, Brownie. Ball goes to the far wing. Bennett couldn't take the mark. Bombers get the kick away. Couch is lurking, but it goes past him to Castle. He scoops the ball up, goes sideways, and Clarence out of danger again. Bennett's there though for North Launceston now. Umpire blows the whistle. Free kick going the way of North Lonnie. And Bennett will take the kick.
So Bennett with the ball on the far wing. He's got plenty ahead of him. Just pokes it centrally, looking for McCulloch. It was Bailey over the top. It was taken by Palmer Hughes. Goes down the far side, finds Brenner. Brenner just nudges in for Wall. He just holds it up, does Wall. North Lonnie Pole back in numbers. So Wade Wall down the line. Looking for Blackburn. It's swatted away. Good pressure coming by Pearce. Foon in there as well. As Pearce is wrapped up. Brady Jones all over him. There'll be a ball up just in front of the commentary position, Brent Costelloe.
Yeah, bird's eye view up here, Damo. Really nice spot to be for this cracking contest. Wall and Lee go at it. Wall with a quick hand off to Jones. Big smother though from North Lonnie through Wadley. And we'll have another boundary throw in. Ball not too far from where it was thrown in moments ago.
Good bit of work there by Wadley. So they'll be thrown in. Wall and Lee again to contest. Stars all around the ball. It's Lee who gets the touch. Gabby Chambers into the back of Whitford. Will be held in as O'Brien wraps up Murphy Cohen. O'Brien wraps up Richter Salter. And throw up. Up it goes. Wall down. Brady Jones gets it. Whacks it on the boot, looking long, and yet again.
Great mark.
Jay Lockhart back as that loose and doing things nicely for North Lonnie. Moves it quickly with a switch and finds McCulloch. He goes long for the skipper. Taylor Whitford on the boot looking for Couch or even Bird. Bird almost. It's down and Couch might get a sniff here. He holds it up. Bird on the boot. Curls it around. Not far enough. A minor score.
Just not enough depth on the kick from Whitford there. Couch was signalling that he wanted it long and over the top, but unfortunately the kick dropped short, which forced Couch into a one-on-one contest with the ball dropping forward. Bird in a really good spot, but just missed the snap.
Ball back in. Michael Fisher takes the mark. Back pocket there for Clarence. He goes short. Finds his teammate in Castle. Gets the handball back to Fisher. Plays on quickly. Chambers now inside the centre square. Ball smothered off the boot. O'Brien back to Castle. Gets it further afield to Jones. Brady Jones. Big long handball over the top to Wall. Aidan Grace is on the run now. He's got a bit of space here, Grace. He turns, wheels around and hits the chest of the coach in Jeremy Webberley. He plays on quickly, centres the ball and the Roos take a mark. Umpire says play on wasn't 15 and Donnelly now gets it out for the Bombers. And Clarence, unfortunately, they miss an opportunity. They get the ball back though, and they go inside again. Long ball, but Lockhart collects again. Geez, a good player. Switches play.
Lethal boot from Lockhart. He finds Foon. He'll be wrapped up straight away though. Chambers will emerge with it. He does. Gets by Event, not really. Over the top, looking for Stanton. He'll keep it alive. No, he doesn't. Throw in. Deep in attack for Clarence. What did we think of that 15 call?
I thought it was 15. I thought it was good enough at the time.
Very unlucky.
Jeremy Webberley was really disappointed. It was a terrific build-up from Clarence.
So, throw in. It's swatted back by Blackburn. Battle all the way. O'Brien with a meaty challenge. Just tackles him nicely to the ground. So, the ball up here.
So 10-4-64, plays 6-10-46. It is Clarence holding a nice handy lead here on their home ground, Blundstone Arena. Grace slammed into the turf.
He's got a free kick.
And he's got a free kick. Aidan Grace will go back now and kick directly in front, probably about 25 metres out from goal. And this will extend Clarence's lead even further to 24 points if he's successful.
I think he slipped the shoulders nicely there, boys. I think it was a smart bit of work by him in the end. He's earned a free kick.
Let's have a look at this run-up, boys. We know he loves the sidestep, Aidan Grace. He starts out straight here, and the turn is about to come right about. Now, there it is. Aidan Grace directly in front. The stutter works for him usually. He loads up, splits the middle, and Clarence lead this one by 4 goals.
Look, full credit to the Roos. They look to have all the answers, but for mine, now's the time to throw the skipper into the midfield. This game could slip away for North Launceston. Clarence very much got it on those terms, and I just think Tommy Couch has to go back into that midfield. He could give them that lift.
He's got to, I agree with you wholeheartedly, and that's exactly what he's doing, Cam Brown. So you read the game situation.
This is why Cam Brown is the best special comments man in Tasmanian football, probably Australian football to be fair.
Does his homework.
Does his homework.
he could reel off what sort of beat Tommy Couch runs.
You notice I'm not interrupting you, and I'm happy for you to keep going, boys. No, all good. 24-point lead at the moment for the Roos.
Ball goes up, was strongly in Clarence's favour, and they emerge with it. Out it goes, far side. It's a good bit of contested work there by Murphy Cohen. He gets it inside looking for O'Brien, can't take the mark. With a spin, he gets it out. It's a nice bit of work, and it's Howlett who flashes a shot wrong side of the upright. So it'll be behind for Clarence. It looked good, didn't quite pay off. Long it goes, edge of 50, hands out from Event. There for Lockhart, he's been superb. He sets Bennett a task out in front of him. Bennett's got an ally ahead of him. He can't find him. Wiley bustles in, wins the ball. It's brought down. It'll be a ball up. Keegan Wiley, very impressive game here at Blundstone Arena today. There was another occasion. He had to stand up and be counted, and he stood up.
Much improved play. He has spent a lot of time forward playing in the last couple of years, but he just looks more composed, more at home in the back half of the ground.
Siggins gets the quick handball out. Ball flies towards the boundary, right over the top, out of bounds on the full. So North Lonnie will get the kick here, and they need a goal. 71 plays, 46. 12 minutes gone, third quarter. And the man taking the kick is Richter Salter. He goes on the left. High ball inside 50 to the pack. Clarence players all there lurking. Ball trickles towards the boundary. Umpires blow the whistle. Called a throw.
Oh, that's harsh, I thought. It's going to go to the captain.
Yeah,
the coach.
The coach, Tommy Couch. So what's he got, Damo? 4 goals so far.
This would be for a 5-pack.
I'm putting him down, boys.
This will be a big kick. They need it. This will be a coach's goal, won't it? So Tom Couch.
What do we reckon, about 45?
45 metres out. Angle. He's confident. Not too many players in the square waiting for the ball. It's going to make the distance. Tom Couch, the coach of North Launceston, lines up. Kick looks okay. Might just be a little left. It is. Minus score. So they move now to 47 points, North Launceston. Clarence still leading this one. They play on super quickly. It's the far side of the ground here at Blundstone. Jackson O'Brien has got a lot of space ahead of him. He uses it. Hits the chest of his teammate. Hands low. He waits. Takes his time. Goes short. Finds his teammate. They go inside very quickly. The Roos. Man is free on his own for Clarence. It's all too late though. And they go towards the forward pocket. North Launceston. Donnelly gets the handball backwards. And they're out of danger here, the Bombers. They go right to the far side of the ground. Bart McCulloch centres the footy. Target was his North Launceston teammate, but the Roos scoop it up through Fisher. They've got plenty of time here. Wheels around. Right on the 50-metre arc. No one can take the mark. Still with the Bombers now. McCulloch couldn't juggle the footy. Clarence have got players loose. They've got plenty of options here if they can get the footy away. Chambers gets it onto his boot. And the mark taken here by the Roos inside 50.
He's had some nice touches in this quarter, Howlett.
So the...
Geez, a goal would be massive here.
It would be huge. Wouldn't it be a turning point if they can move to 77? They've kicked it away here, the Roos. They load up right on 50. Goes to the square, and it's a goal. What a ripping goal from the Roos. They are up and about in this top of the table clash at Blundstone Arena. This margin now is 30 points.
Well, this is the best game of footy I've seen from Keegan Wiley. Just caps off his game beautifully. Just knew the right time to run. And North Launceston have been happy to have him sit back and play that loose man in defence, as Lockhart has often done for North Launceston in different stages of this game. But that makes it a 5-goal game.
Is that game over, Cam Brown?
Well, I wouldn't write off the champs yet, North Launceston.
Not many teams win games when they're 4 goals down.
No, and Damo will have the stats very shortly on that in terms of in TSL matches when you're 30 points in front. The percentage is quite low. But 15-minute mark of the third quarter, when you've only got 6 goals, and you're going to have to probably double your score to win the game from here. All ahead of them at the moment, North Launceston.
So Siggins out of the middle. Gets it going Clarence's way again, but again Lockhart is the one to cut it off. He's been superb. That right boot, raking one out onto the far side. Picks out McCulloch. McCulloch, short little dabbing kick. Sends Walsh a task. Nice hands through traffic. Homer. Advantage paid. Homer to Couch. Couch eyes goal. He gets a decent piece of it and it's through the middle. So that is just what they were after. North Lonnie with a quick reply, and it's that man again, Tom Couch. He's 5th of the day.
5 out of, 7, boys? Pretty much a lone hand.
Yeah.
He's kicked that one on the midfield. When he has rolled into the midfield, it's been Justin O'Brien that's gone with him. Just gave him a little bit too much latitude there and he made no mistake. Just wondering if they can do something different, North Launceston. I'm not sure potentially whether or not you throw Cox Goodyear, one out in the goal square, rotate that a little bit with Whitford. As we speak, actually, Whitford has moved down there just to do something a little bit different. North Launceston giving them a spark. It's back to 4 goals.
Just remember, Clarence doing this today without Jake Cox, without Ian Callanan. So 2 of their best players out of the side. They lead by 4 goals.
Cox Goodyear with a hand out of traffic. He goes back and finds Richter Solder, who's wrapped up. There'll be a ball up. Just around the grounds quickly, boys. Launceston in control at Windsor Park. 11 goals, 268 to 3 goals, 624. So a big ball over on its way there. His hands down and out of traffic nicely goes Justin O'Brien. He finds Harper. Harper, the far side, finds Howlett. Down finds his coach in Webberley. Webberley looks to spin, he does, and uses it into the pocket. He's looking for Blackburn, but he's beaten in that contest by Donnelly back there, and out it goes. So
that's been the big improvement for me, watching Clarence last year to this year, just their ball movement. They can move it really quickly by foot. They're happy to hit up, lead up targets, and their quick transference from defensive 50 to inside 50 has been a real feature.
Umpire called play on there. Almost was a free kick, I would have thought. The ball's still alive though, and it goes, and great mark out in front by the Roos, and the mark taken, I think, by Blackburn. So what a grab out in front, big jukes.
He's got
He's
really good hands. Blackburn. Yeah, really good hands.
So he'll go back now and kick on a slight angle, kick from about 30 metres out. Distance shouldn't worry him at all. It's a well-placed kick for him, and this would create another 30-point margin in this game, which has just been dominated by Clarence in the last quarter or so. So Blackburn lining up. It's a high ball, but it's an okay ball. He splits the middle, and he likes it too.
Look at the double cobra. Look at the double cobra from Blackburn. He's happy about it.
Terrific finish, and in the run-up there was a bit of Ben Brown. He sort of waved the ball up quite high and before he settled, and a really good kick. Is that 2 goals for Blackburn, Damo?
It is indeed.
Multiple goal game for him, and all of a sudden we're out again to a 5-goal lead, and the Roos seem to have all the answers.
They do. Despite Tom Couch's best efforts with 5 so far, he's in the middle. What can he do here? Is it's thrown up. Lee doesn't find black and red. Just misses O'Brien rather. McCulloch steals, races towards goal. His kick is left wanting. It'll be Holmes who gathers out of defence now.
Great kick.
He finds Brenner. He's come into the game a little bit more in this third term. What a heap to kick to down the line. We'll look for Murphy Cohen. In the end, he kicks it well out of the play and into the stands. So North Lonnie with the ball. They've got to get things moving. That scoreline not looking favourable at all. Quickly taken from Foon to Lockhart, who's been their best outside of Couch. Been superb in the back half. So play on. Lockhart with a big boot inside a crowded 50, looking for Burt over his head. A good tackle from Couch. It spills out over the top from Seggins. He's in trouble. Tackle. Couch gets it taken high.
He was.
So it'll be Couch's ball. It was taken high by O'Brien. There's plenty of numbers back though. Confusing one. Selson foot candy looks inside. Homer. Oh, he can't gather. Drops down. Brad Cox Goodyear Pearton drops it off for Homer. Homer can't get it on the boot. They get it out through Holmes. And now Castle measures the kick nicely. Finds O'Brien of the Justin variety. Over the top. He'll find Murphy Cohen. They'll just steady the ship here, the Roos. Murphy Cohen. It's a crowded defensive 50 for the Roos. Long down the line, looking for Grace.
Oh, good mark.
All he can do is throw a fist as Foon gathers a nice mark. He'll switch it up. A big run back there from Denman. He'll go long, look for the skipper, Taylor Whitford. He's dealt with by Bailey. He wins it for the Roos. The race is here. Castle runs under it. And Richter Salter wins for North Lonnie. Back in. Tipped over by Pearton. They use it well. Holmer free on the edge of 50. He can't take the mark. Hands and knees. Tries to get it through. Comes out for Cox Goodyear. He's got to beat a couple. Gets the hands off. Richter Salter for Pearton. Nudges out a kick, but it's all Clarence. And they'll deal with this one, Brent Costelloe.
They will. They'll slow things up here. We're 22 minutes into this third quarter. 30-point lead for the Roos. Top of the table clash would be an enormous result for the competition if Clarence get up this afternoon. Webberley in front, picks up the footy. Sells a lot of candy there, but I think he ran out of bounds, the coach. So we'll have a boundary throw in. Lonnie dominating at Windsor Park. Tigers getting up over Devonport at the Twin Ovals earlier today. And Lauderdale all over Burnie down there at the tip. And in this one, as we said, Clarence by 30 points. 22-minute mark of the third quarter. It has been a wonderful performance from Clarence so far this afternoon. As we see the ball fly back into play. Lee in the ruck, taps down. Picked up by Jones, big handball over the top. Running players on for North Launceston. They collect the footy. And turned over though by the Roos. Bombers get it back. And the kick's on a great one. It ends up in the hands of the Roos. They play on super quickly. Inside 50. Grace is there. But a great mark taken. I think it was Murphy Cohen.
He's had a pretty handy game. He was actually marked the last inside 50 entry for North Launceston when he pushed back into the defensive 50. He's always been a goal kicker at the lower grades and lower levels, and has kicked some multiple goals already this year in some games, so he gets an opportunity to get on the score sheet himself today.
Jeez, this will make it tough, boys. This will make it tough.
36 points, yes.
So Murphy Cohen, he'll look to stroll in and make this 36 points. It should be easy for Murphy Cohen. Kicks it nicely, straight through the middle, and the Roos are on fire here at Blundstone Arena. 36-point lead, really mounting a challenge for the ladder leaders.
I just can't see North Launceston coming back from now, boys. They've only kicked 7 goals, and we're 23-minute mark of the third quarter. So full credit to the Roos today. They've just had such an even contribution of goal kickers. It's been a real feature of their game. And the evenness of their players and contributions throughout all the lines. And the 22 have done a fantastic job for the Roos today. This would be a massive win.
Wine at what? We're underway again in the middle. Wade Wall, Lee taps it down. It would be an enormous win, Brownie. Obviously, a young developing team now at Clarence, and to be here and really challenging the top of the table North Launceston is a huge result for the footy club. Lee gets first hands and first use down to Whitford. Still with the Bombers. Taken out beautifully by Jackson O'Brien. He's got plenty of time and space. Drives it inside 58 and Grace is there. Couldn't take the mark. Out of bounds, boundary throw in. But Clarence, just exciting to watch at the moment, aren't they?
They're dangerous with their ball movement. It's fast, it's quick. They play to their advantages. They're a mid-sized forward line, aren't they? Without a real tall target now, without Mitch Williamson. And it's a different feature there. And also, as you mentioned a few times, Breno, throughout the call, Jake Cox can go back in there.
Yeah,
and he can play
right.
in that deep forward 50 as well.
That's right. Here's Brady Jones. He wheels around, looks at goal, and just across the face for a minor score. So they are lively at the moment, the Roos. There's no doubt about that. Very exciting footy team to watch. And you mentioned Mitch Williamson out of the team over summer. Brownie, Matty Drury out as well. So a lot of key personnel out of this team, but they've just risen to the challenge. Here's Donnelly wrapped up. Fisher's there as well for the Roos. Bennett drags down the Clarence player to the turf, but they get out of this one, the Bombers. Handball over the top to Couch. He gets the quick one away to Lockhart. Can he get the footy? Chambers tried to drag him away from it. Oh, Lockhart just in amongst everything. Got taken a little high there.
Did well, didn't he?
To get the free kick.
He was just prepared to keep his head over the footy. He's got great balance, and his foot skills today have been exquisite.
So he just nudges this one out in front of a runner. It was Foon.
Shocked.
It'll be Foon who has a free kick. Not far from the paint of 50. He wheels around on the right. Looking for Couch. Couch can't quite bring it in. Donnelly there for North Launceston. It's now with Whitford. He'll go back to Rick DeSolder. Misses the target. Clarence will try and wrap this one up. They do. And that brings an end to a fantastic quarter for the Clarence Roos. They are well on top here at Blundstone Arena. North Launceston, the ladder leaders, with a lot of work to do. 14-6-90 Clarence, 7-11-53 North Launceston, and the Roos are in well in control at the pouch.
Jeremy Webberley down there, boys. He's got some sort of blue strapping on his leg. I'm not sure if he'll play out the game or not, but I know he was sore during the week when we saw him at the Thursday press conference. He pulled up pretty sore from that Burnie game, so given the lead that the Roos have now, we may not see him play out the game. We'll have to wait and see. But what a quarter, Brownie, from Clarence. They are up and about, and 37-point leaders at three-quarter time.
What was it? 5 goals in that quarter to the Roos. So look, they've just continued to take every step in the right direction, and they look like heading to the winners list and in a bit of a ball over. I would have thought when we arrived at the ground today. We certainly know Clarence are a much improved team, no question of that. But North Launceston, we just thought perhaps going into this game just had a little bit too much class, particularly with some of the omissions from the Roos coming into this game. But gee, they've been impressive. Clarence, North Launceston, they just look flat today, Damo. They just haven't been able to get any of their zip and drive. Their forward 50 entries haven't been clean. They've relied, heavily on their coach. Tom Couch has kicked 5 out of 7 goals. They really haven't got as much as they would like out of Burt. Bennett's been pretty well held as well. McCulloch hasn't been able to get onto the scorers list. So look, it's been well coached, in fairness to the Clarence boys. They've had it very much on their terms, and you'd think 37 points is just too big a gap now for North Launceston to bridge.
The goal kickers for Clarence, who are on top, the multiples, Aidan Grace, Michael Blackburn and Jeremy Webberley with 2. With singles, Wade Wall, Keegan Wiley, a brilliant one from outside 50, Jared Harper, Gabby Chambers, Trent Standen, Luke Murfitt-Cohen and Sammy Siggins. So they've shared it round the Roos. For North Launceston, it's been complete opposite. Tom Couch with heavy shoulders. He's kicked 5 and singles to Mark Walsh and Jack Event. So a lot of work to do for the travelling North Launceston. They're well behind here at Blundstone Arena. If anyone can mount a comeback, it's probably them though. So stay with us for what should be a great last term. The brief break now and be back for the last quarter. back for this final term. North Launceston with it all to do. They trail 14-6-90 to 7-11-53. A big last quarter needed. Boys, do they have it in them?
Look, I don't think so, Damo, and I think if Clarence would have known at the start of the last quarter, Zach Burt would be moving back into the defensive end of the ground, into the Clarence forward line. They would have taken that every day of the week, such as the output of the North Launceston forwards. They've just tried to structure up and do something a little differently. They'll start with Bart McCulloch deep in the first centre bounce here, but that's an interesting move to push Burt back.
What do you think the thinking is there, Brandy?
Look, I don't know whether they were trying to get him into the game, maybe a bit of run and carry. It just hasn't worked for him. You know he's got tremendous work rate, Burt, but he looks like he's picked up young Blackburn, which is a feather in his cap because he was lively in that third quarter and pretty smart player and makes neat decisions. So it's all about the response now for North Launceston.
Here we go, last quarter. Saturday afternoon footy from Blundstone Arena, top of the table TSL clash. Big tap down from Wade Wall. Now Siggins running onto the footy, taps it down with those big giant mitts off to his teammate who gets the ball round and kicks it straight to the opposition, but juggled out of bounds and boundary throwing. We see Jeremy Webley out there, boys?
Not at the oh, yep, forward 50.
He's there, okay.
Forward 50, Jeremy
So
Webley.
he's obviously right.
Wade Wall done pretty good, well in the ruck combined with Sam Siggins today. I don't think Lee's had too much of an advantage as it goes over both their heads. They battle away in the clinches. Doesn't look like anyone's getting out of that one anytime soon. Ball up.
So very cold here at Blundstone Arena this afternoon.
Yeah, temperature has dropped
Dropped a little, yeah. No sunshine whatsoever. Lee, big tap away. And hugging the boundary again, this footy. Still alive though. Umpires blowing the whistle now, ball up. As we said, Launceston dominating Glenorchy up at Windsor Park. Lauderdale all over Burnie at the tip, and earlier this afternoon the Tigers had a win over Devonport.
Oh!
Bit
Not
of a
sure what happened there.
tunnel
Bit
there.
of a block. Jeez, he went down. It was Lee. Got some serious airtime, but down he went. Like he looks okay though. Hands it off. It's a long raking boot, but it's straight to Fisher. He gleefully collects. He'll just take his time. Clarence in no hurry in this last quarter. Well in control. North Launceston have to chase the game as it goes along down the line. Oh, it's a good clunk from Brady Jones. In the helmet, the skipper. Just wander back.
Done a bit on this ground as a footy player and a cricket player, hasn't he? Brady Jones.
Handy athlete. It's handed to Grace. I think it was Grace as it comes along. Weberly thought he brought it down, but he's tackled. It'll be a ball up. We're starting to lose a bit of light here at Blundstone Arena.
What stage does the Chief Carl Saunders demand the lights are turned on here, Damo?
I reckon there's a fair price tag to lights.
I thought he'd have his own little remote control that just flicks them on.
It's a red button under the desk. He just hits it on, big Carlos Saunders. So another stoppage. This one will be thrown in. So North Launceston, they've got to get a move on. Hurry on as it's thrown in. Lee gets a hand of this one, but again, it's going nowhere fast. Wrapped up and in for a ball up. So this would be pleasing the coach, Jeremy Webley.
You must remember, Damo, Clarence have dropped one game this year. It was by a point. So really, they're unlucky to have lost that one.
They did drop it though, Brent.
They did indeed, absolutely, and had to come from the fairway behind as well. Ball's gone to the ground here, another ball up, so pretty scrappy start to this opening quarter.
Just
3 minutes
rolling
in.
mauls, really.
It is. Looking forward to the state game here at Blundstone Arena in a couple of weeks' time. Tasmania taking on the NEFL. A lot of these players out here today will feature in that match. Should be an absolute beauty. A lot of former AFL listed players running around for the NEFL.
Been a while since the Roos would have beaten North Launceston and Glenorchy in the one season. Been a
Yeah.
while since any team has beaten
Well, they're
North
back, aren't
Launceston
they?
and Glenorchy.
They're back, Clarence. No question about it. They're going to be a force again. So hands out on the boot of Jones. It's long and looking for Weberly. he's caught under it. North Launceston gather. Launceston 82-25, I see there. So upsets on the way as this long punt out of defence doesn't pay off. Brady Jones on the paint of 50 takes a mark. Plenty of red and white striding into the forward 50, but he opts to take a look. This one beyond him, boys.
I think he's got a fair old roost on him, hasn't he, Brady Jones, Cam? Or he's obviously backing himself in here. He's going to have a good look at it.
Long kick of the footy. You'll give it every chance.
Brady Jones on the paint of 50 gets a good piece of it, but it's offline and wide. But it's to Siggins. He takes the clunk, Sammy Siggins, and he'll go back and look to put through his second, and his team's 15th. As they're well on the way to a big victory.
What a recruit he's been.
Wonder if he'll turn around here and snap it, boys. I think he's going to. Yep.
So Siggins goes around the right, splits the middle, and Clarence have pretty much won this football game now. 15th goal there for Siggins for the Roos 15th goal. 15-6, 96, 7-11, 53. Party time now for the Roos.
I did not see this coming when I arrived today at Blundstone Arena. I did not think Clarence would be so far in control in the last quarter. It's been a terrific performance. Terrific performance, Brownie.
And the other way, looking at it, I guess, for North Launceston, they'll hit the reset button and they'll learn a lot from this loss. They'll go back over the tape and work out where it's gone wrong for them over the last 2 hours, but they'll certainly get an opportunity next week. It's all about the response for North Launceston now, and they've been up for a long time. So in some strange, quirky way, boys, perhaps they can learn a fair bit of this game, and it won't hurt them, I don't think, in the long run.
They go forward, and a mark is taken, and it's taken well by Denman. Your eye goal, about 40.
Not a surprise to you, the result today?
No, look, I gave Clarence...
Based on your phone and your betting account?
Letting you know that everyone was backing North Launceston today, Cam. Definitely...
Well, I knew when you walked in with those red and white shoes who you were going for, Brent Costelloe. So Denman approach, not too much an angle to speak of. 40-odd out.
It's away to the right.
He hooked it, out to the right. Didn't look like it. So another behind for North Launceston. Keegan Wiley to kick in. He's had a great game, the boy. Kicks it out. This one not his best.
Dear.
It's shoveled out for the coach, Tom Couch. Hands over for Homer. Back for Couch. A dribbling effort. Out to the left.
So 6 minutes gone, final term. Sniffed a sixth goal there, Tommy Couch. But Clarence now to kick out. 96-55. Umpire's blown the whistle.
Is that because the runner was inside the...
Might have been. So Clarence 50, will bring the ball forward here.
The runner is Jake Cox too, I think, with the pink and he's wearing a glove.
Okay. So good spot there, Damo.
Oh, it's me actually, Brent. But
was it?
Okay.
Sorry, Brownie. I know you get frustrated when that sort of thing happens.
Lockhart comes through, falls for Couch. He's curling. Not enough.
He has.
Well, he has. Tell you what, it didn't look like it from this angle.
That is a remarkable goal from Tom.
How has that got back in? Another one for Couch. And I tell you what, he's got sore shoulders today. He has done everything in his powers.
6 of 8.
6 goals of their 8. I did not think from this angle.
I'll back you there, Damo. It looked like it just missed to the right, but just did enough to sneak in. That was an incredible goal from Tommy Couch. And 6 of 8 goals, you're right. He's got heavy shoulders. He's done a lot for this footy team today. And again, inaccurate kicking has really got in the way of a North Launceston win here. Not that it has in the past, but they've won those last games the last couple of weeks. But they've kicked inaccurately, Damo, and 8-13 today. It's been a problem for them again, hasn't it?
22 behinds last week. It's a hard contest in the middle. Lockhart and Wade wall battle. It's punched clear by Whitford to Event. He does well, evades one, eyes goal, and finishes with aplomb. Beautiful work from Event. And maybe there's life left in North Launceston.
Well, you can't write them off. There's still plenty of time if they're good enough. It's a 35-point lead. That's 2 in a row. just getting back to Tom Couch, boys, it's hard to believe watching him today that he played 3 games of AFL footy.
Yeah. Right.
Look, a terrific player. We know, I think he might have won the best and fairest at Springvale when they were an affiliate with Melbourne, and I think runner-up in the Liston Trophy over there for the best player in the competition. But, gee, he's just been well worth the admission price to come and watch him today.
Huge punch down from Lee, and here we go again. North Launceston in goal. They go forward. Mark taken. No, it wasn't. Fisher did well for Clarence. He's still going too. Michael Fisher tried to soccer the ball. Bennett now dragged down without the footy. Was a North Launceston player. Umpire will ball it up though. So a bit of life back in this game. Last couple of minutes from North Launceston's point of view. The margin's still a big one, 29 points, but you're right, Brandy, plenty of time left. 9-minute mark of this final term. Lee gets first hands on it. Still with the Bombers. O'Brien's there though for the Roos. Couldn't pick up the footy. Still scrappy. North Launceston get it out. Now here's Donnelly, collects the footy. Does well to evade the tackler. Taken high too, Donnelly, so he'll get the kick here. And North Launceston will go back and try and set up again for a goal.
He's been okay, Donnelly. He's a really reliable, dependable defender.
High kick, in it goes. Fist flying everywhere. Walsh tries to gather a vent, gets a piece of it. Looks for Couch, he taps it back in board. Someone arches the back, it's off the boot of who we got there. I think it might have been Walsh again.
Lights
and
on here too, boys.
Score, so on the lights go. Carl Saunders found that magic red button. Quick short kick out by Harper. And it's through to Justin O'Brien. Just nudges over the top to Chambers. They just need to be safe here, Clarence. Chambers down the line looking for O'Brien. He set him a task he couldn't win.
A momentum shift here in the last 5 minutes,
Absolutely.
no question.
Crowd getting involved too. A lot of support for North Launceston here, boys.
Cox Goodyear in for Foon. He finds Holmer, who's been quiet. Can he have an impact now?
50 metres.
He races around at 50. And they're lucky it's not 2 50s with the contact coming late. But Holmer will have a really, really good look at goal here, boys. We thought this one was over.
Wow.
Looks against O'Brien for
North Lonnie. Holmer play. Oh, he's not allowed to.
Plays as defensive midfielder, O'Brien, but doesn't give a lot offensively, boys. So I think when different players come back into the team, he will be one that will be fighting for his position in the Clarence team. But disappointing there, gives Holmer a shot, and all of a sudden we'll put it back to a 22-point ball game.
Yeah, it's achievable. So Holmer, he's had a quiet day. We've spoken about him a couple of times.
Big kick.
There's a big kick for Holmer. He goes back, puts it through. North Launceston are up and about. Here they come.
Just interested to see what the response will be here now for Jeremy Webbell in the Roos. Do they throw another one behind the footy just for 5 or 10 minutes, just to get the ball on their terms a little bit? I heard you say before, Damo, a couple of minutes ago, they don't need to panic, they don't need to rush. But North Launceston, we're all pretty much man on man, so there's no plus ones or anything like that behind the footy.
So ball back in the middle. Sam Siggins and Alex Leader duke it out. In it goes. Lee with a decisive hand looking for Whitford, misses him, and it's out through Hanslow, but straight to Lockhart. He arches the back, looks out to the wing. Finds Bennett, who does well with a pickup. To Foon, runs into trouble. Can he run out of it? He runs into Pitton. It's blocked nicely by Wiley. He's had a great game. Siggins straight to Webberley. To Wiley. Interesting kick. Finds Blackburn. He gets it moving. He drops it up for Brenner. Inside 50.
Interfered with, boys.
But he'll go back. I'm not sure what the call was here, but it'll be a Blackburn kick.
Holding on, I think.
So Blackburn. A goal here would really take the steam out of North Launceston. You'd think Blackburn just nudges over the top. And it's
a high ball to the square. Lots of players lurking there. Ball dragged down.
Big tackle on Harper, wasn't it?
Huge. So good spot here though for Clarence. Top of the square. That they're attacking into the ground. Lights really starting to take over now here. Dark old day in Hobart. Siggins and Lee in the ruck. Oh, it's out of the pack. Cross to the left though. hit the
Out in
post,
the full.
Out in the full. So nice, exciting piece of play, but unfortunately not the result Clarence were after. So Zach Burt now will take the kick. Going to go long up the line here. Burt. Time starting to play a little bit of a part and work against North Launceston. Holmer saw it over the boundary throw in. So 14 minutes almost gone here.
Feel free to give the final score of the Western Bulldogs and Kilda boys.
Yes, the
match
Bulldogs. What have we got there? I'll get the correct. 13-12-90 to 7-8-50. So you see a green ear to ear from you there. Rounding holding on. I'll tell you what, I'm not sure about the call.
O'Brien will get the kick regardless.
Neither was Whitford. He's not happy.
So Jackson O'Brien, new recruit for Clarence in 2017. Star player, premiership player with his footy club. He goes inside 50. Mark can be taken. Brady Jones, handball over the top. Weberly's lurking and he sees it over the boundary line.
It's been pretty well held, Standard.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Which is a good sign for Clarence because they have been pretty dependent on him as that small forward, multiple goal kicker over a long time.
He had an early goal, didn't he? But not sighted really since Trent Standard. So an unusually quiet day for him. Lee gets it down, and now North Lonnie out of danger. Lockhart, was he taken high? Umpire said play on. Cox Goodyear off to Whitford. Holmer, they're creating something here, North Launceston. Couch gets it off to his teammate on the run. Plenty of time and space. He loads up and goes inside 50. And punched away. Well done, Michael Fisher for Clarence.
Just didn't think it was the best kick then from Denman. I thought he could have done a little bit more of that. Looked like he blazed away. Maybe he could have taken some yardage and allowed his player, Walsh, to run into the goal square almost, the top of the goal square. But they get an opportunity here with the stoppage.
Throw in, Holmer and Siggins. Holman with a palm down. North Lonnie, take it out. Mark Walsh on the boot. It's bouncing. Lockhart. He's wrapped up. Is he caught high? Umpire doesn't move.
No, ball up.
The whistle not blown.
Well,
Set for a ball up. So tense stuff here in the dying embers. What has been a cracking top of the table clash.
They've still got time, Brownie. 16 minutes gone.
Yeah, I think they have.
Holmer down. It's nudged out. Oh, it's a handball that's now wanting. High though. So a let off for the Roos. They'll just be able to just take their time and just work it out of this situation. Red and black all around them. So it's moved on quickly by Justin O'Brien. Long and strong down the line. And it's a mark taken by Burt. He's going into the centre to Lockhart. His foot use has been lethal, and it is again on this occasion. He puts it into the middle. Finds Wadley. He drops it off for the designated kicker in Cox Goodyear. He's corralled by a couple. Panic stations. Over the top, a bouncing ball and out of play. Didn't quite pan out that they would have liked there, North Launceston. Obviously weren't aware of those Clarence players around Cox Goodyear. Wise to the situation because it happens a lot. Here's the designated kicker from outside 50. In it goes. Siggins with a hand down to Pearton. He couldn't, could he? Tries to bend it around. No, he couldn't.
A pretty quiet game today for Connor Pearton.
So here we go again. The Roos reset. 15-6-96. 10-14-74. In it comes. Big kick to the far side of the ground. Ball spills to ground. Players all over it. Umpire to ball it up. 17 minutes gone.
Going to have to score within this next couple of minutes, boys, if they have any hope.
Enormous result at Windsor Park this afternoon. Launceston, huge winners over Glenorchy. Lauderdale over Burnie and the Tigers over Devonport. And it appears Clarence will most likely win this one against North Launceston. But the Bombers definitely have lifted in this last quarter. There's no doubt about that. Here they go, centre the ball. And they're off and away. Inside 50 again. Holmer was there. Didn't judge the footy, but here's a chance at goal for North Launceston. And it is! Here they come! They are coming, North Launceston. They get another one in this final term. 11-14, 80 to 15-6-96. The margin now just 16 points.
It's Jack Event, wasn't it? The right foot snap across the body, Damo.
Third for the day. So he's been handy.
So 16 points. Gee,
wow.
You didn't see this coming, did you? You just thought with Clarence. What was the the game high margin, Damo, I think it was deep, high 40 points from memory.
Oh, well, never write off a champion, never write off North Launceston. They're a star-studded team, and they were never going to go away. 19-minute mark, final term. 15-6, 96, 11-14, 80 is the points margin. Ball straight back down to the ground.
Jeez.
So Clarence have responded. Looks like Sam Siggins is now the +1 behind the footy. He's just going to sit inside that defensive 50 and park himself right in front of Tom Couch.
Up it goes again. Wade Wall and Lee go at it. Donnelly's there for the Bombers. Another goal here would make it really, really interesting as we head into time on.
Just trying to think tactically what North Launceston are doing. They must have the extra one at the stoppage because it's man on man in the Clarence forward 50 at the moment with Siggins
So
down back.
Wall down for Fisher. He just scurries out a kick.
Good mark taken. Harper.
It was a good one from Harper. He gets it moving. Ahead of him is Blackburn. He should take the mark.
Oh.
It spills out. He'll keep it alive though. Blackburn looks to give the don't argue. Drops it off. And it's out through the coach, Jeremy Webley. Runs it out of play. So a throw in. It's in the right position for Clarence. It's up the right end for them. It'll be thrown in. They'll battle away again. Wall and Lee. Lee with hands on it. But it comes for Webley. He spins and gets it immediately on the boot. It bounces up. Interesting bit of play here. It's through! It's through from Harper. And that might just be the sealer for Clarence. Harper with an opportunistic finish. And Clarence look likely to take all 4 points here at Blundstone Arena.
That's the thing, isn't it? When you're coming from such a long way back, as North Launceston have been in this final quarter, you need everything to go right. And they just needed a steadying goal, Clarence, and up bobbed Jared Harper with another multiple goal. And the steady that they needed, 22 points, so they're going to have to be pretty good from here, North Launceston. The response has been terrific from them, though, in the last 10 to 15 minutes of this game. Well done to the Roos, though.
North Lonnie go forward again, not giving up in this contest. There's no doubt about that. But Clarence get it out of defence. O'Brien tucks the footy under his arm and runs, gets the handball over the top to Chambers. O'Brien gets it back, he's dragged down. But Clarence drive it forward once more. Lockhart's lurking. Webley gets it cleverly to Wall. Ball spills to ground. Umpire's paid a throw. So it's a throw and it's going to North Launceston. They play on quickly. Foon.
He's come into it.
He has come into it, Brownie, you're right. Dead centre of the ground here at Belrive. Drives it forward. Cleverly tapped in front by North Launceston. That was a push in the back. Umpire let it go. Chambers wrapped up with a footy over the boundary line. Boundary throw. So we're 22 minutes gone. You'd think Clarence at home now. 22-point leaders. They deserve the win, boys. They've been fantastic this afternoon.
No question. You've just got to ask yourself, where's this North Lonnie been for the other 3 quarters? Is it palm down? Whitford can't get out of handball. It's just rough and tough in there, and it's helped over. It'll be thrown in despite some cheers for deliberate. So Launceston, 70 points in front up at Windsor Park.
Extraordinary.
No one saw that coming.
Brent Costelloe called that one on third man up during the week, I think, Damo. So one person
No
did.
one saw that coming. As the throw comes in, it's swallowed away. Fisher on hands and knees, does his best, as does Foon, and it's in a pack. And there for a ball up. So 16-6, 102. Clarence lead North Lonnie, 11-14, 80. Time running out for the ladder leaders. It's thrown up. Lee gets a palm out. Foon tries to get his way through a couple of Clarence players. He's held up. They go again. It's almost at the scrum here for North Lonnie. Just try and force it forward. Be a ball up again though.
No one likes to lose a game, Brownie, but will they be too disheartened by this loss at North Lonnie? They'll have to come back here potentially in September and play some finals footy if all things don't go their way. But
Standen picks it up on the boot. It's Webley now. Webley picks it up. He's straight into trouble though as Pearce wraps him up a treat. And it's ball. Geez, I reckon he's a bit stiff there. I'm not sure where the prior was.
Didn't know where to go, did he, Jess?
Pierce into the middle. It's a chaos ball and it's hit down by Harper. Lockhart with a big raking boot. Oh, it's tumbled around Holmes. He'll get it out with a bit of help from Siggins. Almost through it. Just tumbled out. It was for Burt. It may have been caught high. It's a ball up.
Yeah, what do you think about this loss for North
Look,
Launceston?
I think you always want to win, Brent, no matter what stage or round it is in a season. But I think you're right, North Launceston, they've been up for a long time. So they'll get to learn a little bit out of this loss. And equally, for the competition, you would imagine that teams will go to work on what Clarence have done today. And they'll try and get a response when they play North Launceston.
It's interesting, Breno, with Jeremy Webley midway. I didn't think he was too confident coming into this one, to be honest.
I didn't get that feeling either. You're right, and wanted to use it, as I said off the top of the show today, as a learning tool almost to try and work out how to beat them. But they've done it, so full credit to them. And as I said, spoke to the president on the way in, and he said it's all about learning in 27. Here comes North Launceston running through. It's Lockhart who kicks a ripping goal. Jay Lockhart, who's been a shining light for North Launceston this afternoon, along with his coach Tom Couch, kicks one for North Launceston to reduce that margin to just 16 points, but unfortunately, a little too late for North Launceston now. 25 minutes
goal,
gone.
didn't he, Brownie?
Yeah.
He's been a star, Jay Lockhart, and he's a great player to watch behind the footy. He's courageous. He never gives up. He's a beautiful user of the footy, and you're right, he deserved a goal. It looks like they've had to push him into the midfield a little bit in this game just because they needed a response in that area of the ground because they were outworked by the likes of O'Brien and Jones today. But look, too little too late, you would think now, for the Bombers.
Here they go again, Lockhart, the goal kicker from moments ago, tried to tap it to himself. Donnelly's there as well for North Launceston. And they have a chance down through Donnelly once more. Go backwards to Lee in the ruckman. Smothered though by Wall, his fellow ruckman. North Lawn, go that far wing here at Blundstone Arena. Good mark taken by the Roos.
Kyle Palmer-Hughes, is it?
Time ticking down now. 26 minutes gone. 16-6. Plays 12-14.
And this one's just about soaking up the clock, Breno. Job done as it comes long. Wade Wall sits under it, almost gathers. Standing picks it up. Looks at goal. Takes a kick and it bounces out of bounds. So
he's entitled to take the shot there. Aidan Grace was running into forward 50 with just the goals in front of him.
Not long left in this one.
Not long at all.
It's going to be a Clarence win. They're going to collect all 4 points here this afternoon. A massive result in terms of the competition.
So Wall down and it bounces away from everyone and through for a minor score.
This is huge too, boys, given these two teams will most likely play off in September. For Clarence's confidence, Brownie, it's huge, isn't it, this result?
Yeah, great call, BC. And look, what we learn is North Launceston with Lockhart again. We'll come back to that.
Lockhart, superb, gets it moving North Launceston's way. Couch now with Castle for company. Gets a little boot on it, not enough. Fisher tries to break away, hands it off. Brady Jones, just a little nudging effort out onto the wing. They move it well here, the Roos, down the line. It's O'Brien battling away. He wins it, does well, shimmies and shakes and puts it inside, looking for Chambers. It's won by Whitford on the boot of Lee. He has a second crack at it. Cox Goodyear, they're running out of time and he knows it. Tries to get at the races, drops it off for Lockhart, who's been superb. In he goes, a bouncing ball over the head of Bennett. It'll be cut off by the Roos. Oh, he's run into trouble though. He might just have another look as event goes again. This one dim and drops a Cohen.
A really good effort there from Luke Murphy-Cohen because he burst through and got caught with a footy. Had nowhere to go really, took the tackle, but then to come back on and put the defensive pressure, they would be wrapped with that on the Clarence bench.
Howlett takes the mark. Lights fully in control here at Blundstone Arena now, the dying moments of this game. He drives it long for Clarence to a pack of players. Grace is at the back, flew for it, couldn't get it. North Lonnie though, deliver it forward once more. Couch was there, but the good mark taken by the Clarence player.
Young Holmes.
Holmes has been fantastic this afternoon.
He has been good, hasn't he, as it comes wide for Palmer-Hughes. They've moved it on. The wind picks up here at Blundstone
it
Arena.
has.
Sure has.
Rick to Salter. Puts it in for Whitford. Whitford to Lockhart. Over the top for Walsh. He's in trouble, but he gets the hands off for Whitford. Back for Pitton. He kicks the goal. Or it might have even been a minor score. Doesn't matter as the siren beats him.
I think it's going to be a goal. It's all academic anyway. But
Doesn't matter. North
wait on this.
Launceston have lost their first game of the season, which is a massive result for Clarence. 16-7, 103. North Launceston 12-14, 86. So a huge result in terms of the season, boys.
A massive result. No goal there. So they're left on 12 goals, 14. So 16-7, 103 to 12 goals, 14, 86. This is a result that really shakes up the competition. And now everyone will be coming for North Launceston. They'll identify some of the stuff that Clarence has done today and try and take it on themselves. Because before today, to be honest, they didn't look like being beaten.
No, look, and look, North Launceston, their two best players were clearly Tom Couch and Jay Lockhart, but too far, too few after that, I would have thought. But Clarence, what an even contribution. It was their transition work with the footy that I was really impressed with today, boys. That ball movement from defensive 50, they're happy to take the game on. They'll back their foot skills in. They've got a medium-sized forward line, which we've spoken about, almost a bit of Western Bulldog-like the way they structure up in the forward 50.
Oh, jeez.
And that's the highest praise you can give it to. But no, look, in all seriousness, what a win. And look, we just saw from North Launceston, they're going to be a great side come the business end of the season, because the way they responded in 15, 20 minutes of footy and to get within 17 points. But what you learn is you just can't flirt with your form, you just can't turn it on in a short period of time and expect to win a game of footy. But it does say a lot about Clarence, boys.
They get a couple of weeks off too now, Clarence. They've got the bye next week, the state game. So they're perfectly placed, aren't they? One loss for the season by a point. Jeremy Webley must be over the moon.
After that break, you'd expect to see Callanan and Cox back in the mix as well.
That's right.
So.
Look, you forget about that, don't you?
Exactly.
Two of their best players out today, and they've got the job done.
So and look, the other thing is Glenorchy. That result. I mean, where does that put? We love to put up premiership favourites and who's going to be there at the business end of the season, but Clarence ahead of Glenorchy, probably on form. You'd have to say that at the moment. So we wouldn't have thought that coming into the season, but. Look, there's a long way to go, and different teams like Glenorchy will get key personnel back. But well done to the Roos, because they started off pretty well. At one point I thought they might have lost their discipline and it could have got away for them at different stages in the first half, but they stuck at it, and they've got a lot of mid-tier players that are really starting to play probably their best footy at TSL level, Damo.
No question. We'll run through the goal kickers just quickly. The multiples for the Roos. Aidan Grace with 2, Jared Harper, also Michael Blackburn, Jeremy Weberley, Sam Siggins, all with 2. With 1, Keegan Wiley, who I thought was superb, Wade Wall, Gabby Chambers, Jackson O'Brien, Trent Standen and Luke Murphy Cohen. For North Launceston, well, he did everything he could. Tom Couch, he's kicked 6 for the day. Jack Event with 3. Lockhart, who was tremendous, with 1, as well as Walsh and Holmer with singles. But they go down to Clarence today, 16-7, 103 to 12-14, 86. Just before we go, boys, wouldn't mind your better players and 3, 2 and 1 if we were.
Yeah, look, I'll let Brent do the 3, 2 and 1. But look, I thought Jackson O'Brien was a really solid contributor throughout for Clarence today. Really liked his work in traffic. I thought Brady Jones was a terrific player. Keegan Wiley was rock solid down back, probably the best game of footy I've seen him play. Jason Bailey did a really good job too. Murphy Cohen in the second half did some really good work. For North Launceston, as we mentioned, I thought their 2 best players. Look, different players ran through for them at stages. Cox Goodyear had a bit of the footy, and so too did Whitford and Walsh, but their 2 best were clearly Tom Couch with 6 goals, a lone hand up forward, and Jay Lockhart, who was brilliant. Foon got into it in the second half, boys, and started to get his hands on the footy. But Sam Siggins, also in the ruck for the Roos, was a very good player.
Yeah, look, it's hard, how often do you put 2 players in a losing team in a 3, 2 and 1? But hard to look past Couchy and Lockhart, isn't it? So I'm going to chuck them in. Controversial, maybe, but they were just brilliant today, weren't they, Brownie?
Yeah.
So give it to us. The first of all.
1, I'll give someone from Clarence, who I haven't decided yet. I'm going to give 2 to Couch, 3 to Lockhart. I love Lockhart's work today.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Who's the one, though?
I don't know. There's too many to pick for. It's hard to give one
Wiley?
vote. Yeah, Wiley was great.
Can't go all play well in the vote.
No, we'll go Wiley then. One for Wiley.
So 1 for Wiley, 2 for Couch, and 3 for Lockhart. There, Brent Costello's votes.
Controversial.
From today's game, a big win for Clarence. It really sets up an exciting season ahead. And North Launceston just ahead on the ladder by percentage. Thanks for joining us on the live stream. We'll be back next week again with North Lonnie. It'll be the Battle of the Bombers. North Launceston up against Lauderdale, up at UTAS Stadium. Join us there for that one. Bye for now.